Do your own research and due diligence before investing in any company. The information I provide is in no way or manner a professional suggestion to purchase shares in any publicly traded company. I am not licensed to provide financial advice, and this should be considered entertainment. These stock profiles are intended to be trading ideas, a starting point for research. Any individual who chooses to invest in any securities should do so with caution. Investing in securities is speculative and carries a high degree of risk. You may lose some or all the money that is invested. Always research your own investments and consider consulting with a registered investment advisor or a licensed stockbroker before investing.
What up, everybody? It's your boy Soundman. I'm in the building. Man. No, this is not the new time I'm going live. I just fucked up, man. And I blame my girlfriend for this. She came through in the afternoon like, hey, I'm hungry. I want something to eat. And all of a sudden, Chinese, let me go ahead and turn off the thing. Chinese popped up in my head. So anyway, I got some Chinese food, and man, then that in itself, I shouldn't have got any Chinese food because I ended up breaking my, no Chinese food. And it's been a long time since I've had Chinese food. All right. You guys have known the story about the Chinese people and how I feel about them and what they do to our communities. So anyway, I had the Chinese food, and man, I knocked out, man. I knocked out, bro. I'm waiting for the show to start. I knocked out. So I wake up and it's like 9:51. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck just happened? Right? So I rushed to come on, man. That's not going to happen again, man. That's not happening again. All right? That's not happening again. Obviously, I will be late in the future one day again, I'm sure. But what I won't do is eat Chinese food for that to cause my absence, my tardiness rather, because I'm here, so I'm tardy. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Let's talk about these pennies. Cinco Hernandez, the beautiful Coralie, I saw her up in here. Michael Delgado, Monkman, Kenny Dutton, Jay Bino. Who else is here? Need a Life Soon. Michael B. What's up, man? Alex Montez. You say you're running out of money? Q-Tech. Let me know what you mean by that, bro. Silver Fox, Tim Green, Mag. What's going on, guys? Hey, Mag, man, you're doing a great job in that in the Discord room, bro. You're doing an awesome job in the Discord room, man. Yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine, man. Again, my apologies for the tardiness. This won't happen again. I'm literally I was ready for the show and everything. And that dirty Chinese oil and grease kicked in, man. And that shit knocked me out, bro. It just knocked me out for the last, I think it's been at least 3 hours since I ate. Yeah, about 3 hours. But I'm up now. Let's talk about some of these pennies. I tried the strategy from Stock God, man. If you guys watched Friday's episode, shout out to Stock God. He came on the show on Friday, gave us some really, really good game on Friday. And I was so appreciative of it because it was a solid day trading strategy. All right. Now, I'm all about picking opportunities that can compound, incredible profit over a period of time. I like that setup because it's less stressful, it's low risk, and I don't have to put up as much money to make money, right? That's why I love penny stocks so much. Well, his strategy requires you, if you really want to make a killing, especially if you have a small account, to put up a lot of money. And today I was trading CYTX with his strategy, his RSI strategy. I was trading CYTX, and let me look at the 1 minute chart. All right, show you what I was doing here. CYTX. And I'm going to tell you this right now. You want to talk about, testing your patience. This strategy definitely tests your patience. All right. I got in perfectly, and the stock just didn't do anything. It didn't do anything for a long period of time. I got the perfect RSI set up. It was cool. It was it's perfect, between kind of 45 and 55 area. I got in, and the stock just, continued to flag for an hour. And now you got to understand, I'm sitting in this bitch flagging, and I've got like $7,000 on the trade, man. I got like $7,000 on the trade. And it's flagging, and eventually, we popped out above what I was looking for, which was with 189, and we didn't really get up there. It's like it got to 189, and then it pulled right back. Got to 189, and then it pulled right back, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and take this and leave. So I posted in the Discord room. I only got like $95. I got $95, bro. And yeah, I kind of chickened out. I'll be the first one to admit it. I kind of chickened out. But at the end of the day, it was just a lot to risk. But yes, you can make an incredible amount of money. I do not doubt that at all. You can make an incredible amount of money with the strategy. It's just that today you had a lot of stocks fake out people using that strategy today. So took home $95, and I was like, fuck it, So ended up setting up some OTCs for the future. I think I tweeted about HIPH. Just doing a little bit of research, and I like that company a lot, so I put in a little bit on that. There are a couple other double zeros I'll bring to you guys' attention tomorrow. But right now, I've been really looking at triples. Stocks that, again, you can just put in $120 and sit in for, 1, 2, 3 weeks and be able to pull out, anywhere between $400 to $700 profit. Okay. And again, that's just one. I mean, you're not doing, for those of you guys who are a little bit blessed, you can do 4 or 5 or 8 at a time. And that's just the potential with one. Mr. Lloyd, what's going on, man?
What's up, Sal? Hey, congrats on that $95. I took my 120 out of CIE, so
okay.
I was very humble about my $120 that I got out of there.
Yes, indeed.
And I wanted to comment on that strategy as well. As when you got off the air, I decided to do a live. And if you guys don't have Think or Swim, I told somebody to pick out a date and time and a random stock that has volume, and I'll try the RSI strategy as well. Mm-hmm. And that's what all those pictures were about. And I had the same results with that. When you put a large sum amount of money in there, mm-hmm. and you're just using the RSI, it was very hard to make that determination, especially when you're looking if he's using a minute chart.
Yeah. And
so all it takes is one large spike to get that RSI up there to that 80 RSI level. And mm-hmm. so you're thinking to yourself, okay, is this where you get out at? I mean, because as you study the RSI, it tells you that 80 is where the red line is. So you're already panicking, like, okay, I didn't make the profits that I need to. I got $5,000-$6,000 in here. Mm-hmm. Do I just take this $20 or do I just keep it pushing? And I applaud you for taking it out, man, because I know your expectations was pretty high when you put that much money and you're expecting a larger return. And someone like myself, I would have stayed my ass up in there because I would have been pissed that I got $95.
No, I agree with you. I mean, that's laughable with that kind of money being put up. But I'm just like, man, I couldn't take it anymore after an hour and a half, bro, just
Right.
waiting for something to happen.
Right.
And again, that's just the situation with that particular stock. But I was testing my
No,
nerves too much. I
yeah.
had to go.
Actually, the stock that I got into moved sideways as well. It didn't have a large move. So basically, I mean, you got to have, if you're going to play that type of play, I mean, you're going to need some type of catalyst, because if the shit's moving sideways, I mean, there's really nothing you can do. And I think I was in that stock for I let it play for 3 hours, and I didn't make any significant gains. So, you know, when we're looking at other people's strategies, you have to understand it's their strategy. They know how it works. And so to really, in my opinion, to really get in tune to what they're doing, you have to be that person. I mean, I can't teach you the way I trade, and you can't teach me the way you trade. I mean, you can tell me some ideas, but the reality is, you know when to pull out, and everybody has their own way. So that's all I want to say on that, man. But yeah, I had the same results. There was nothing negative about it.
Yeah.
It may work for him, but it has to be. I guess it has to be. I need to see him live to do it, to see what it is that I'm doing wrong. I mean, maybe we're just picking the wrong plays. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But two, you know, most of us may not have that $25,000 in our account. So if he's day trading all day long, then I can only do it 3 times a day. So I won't make those type of gains that he's making.
But here's the thing. He's under
So-
the PDT rule. He's under the PDT rule. Again, it's just that I don't doubt the strategy works. It works. I mean, I made a little bit of money today on it.
Right.
But again, the stocks that we picked today, they didn't follow through. You had a lot of fake outs today if you use that strategy
Right.
today. And it was just happened to be that day. I mean, tomorrow might be a killer day
Right.
for that strategy. So
Right.
it was just
Right.
it was just today. I honestly believe that.
Right. Well, I'll definitely give it a try, man. But I know what it feels like when you put $7,000 in and you looking at that needle. Boy, you holding on tight, ain't you?
Hell yeah, man. I mean, every tick, you're down 128, you're down 228, then it starts coming back up, and and you got to understand, I was doing that for an hour, so I was like, you know what? All right, man, I'm gonna take this $95. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here, right?
So let me get
All
out
right,
of here.
man. Well, I appreciate it, man. I ain't gonna hold up the show laughing about this, man. But yeah, I'll definitely give it another shot. But yeah, you got a lot more balls than I do to put $7,000 in that shit. So good job for taking the $95, bro, and have a good one.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Mr. Lloyd. And shout out to Mr. Lloyd calling the show, man. I know he's got a lot to do dealing with the upgrades he's got going on his home and his wife expecting. So so grateful to you, Mr. Lloyd, that you taking your time out and calling me, bro. I'm really appreciative. All right. Yes, indeed. Shout out to Stock God. Okay, he's in the chat room. What's up, man? Yes, indeed. 954, you on the air. What's up?
Hey, Sal, it's Ed from Florida. What's up?
Hey, what's going on with you, man?
Yeah, I'm good. I started trading back in January, and then I mean, I've been absorbing the stock lately and stuff, and I be, I just be watching. But I mean, in my opinion, everybody can't have the same strategy.
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be there's got to be an updated strategy, because I mean, if the person with the most money have the same strategy as you, and then if the person have the same strategy as you, like got the same amount of, more money, and then he could just manipulate that stock, and then, I could trade only one time a day,
Mm-hmm.
and he probably could trade like thousands,
Sure.
even though if he's under the PDT rule, he probably got a lot of money, so he could trade a lot of. There's got to be an updated strategy. Everybody. I'm not saying the strategy is good or bad. There's got to be like an updated strategy. What do you like? What's your opinion on that? Like,
Well, again, his strategy, I have no doubt in my mind it works, because it worked for me. I made some money on it. So if I would have maybe picked a better stock, or had the trade gone my way, attracted more volume, I think I would have made a ton load of cash. I was hoping to get a 4-figure day based on what I had put up, but the stock didn't move, and it's okay. It's not a big deal. I was ready to take a loss up to $500 on the trade too if it went that way. So I mean, it is what it is, man. He can't manipulate, these NASDAQ stocks. They're very liquid. The catalyst causes them to be liquid. And, we only have, 15, maybe 2,000 people watch the show. I don't know if they watched the whole show. So as for manipulation and using the strategy to manipulate, there's more than enough money out here, man, that everybody, we can give the same strategy to 10,000 people and we still wouldn't be able to manipulate a NASDAQ stock the way, we want to. So, it just didn't work. It's for that. I mean, that was just today. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Compared to like this year and the past years, I mean, did stock the stock game changed? Is it like super? I mean, what changed? I mean, did it have any changed back then? Because I know there's like newbies such as I joining. You don't think like the game has changed or a little bit?
No, not at all, man. I mean, the game is still the same. I mean, you still have OTCs that fly crazy and make people thousands of dollars and turn unsuspecting investors into 100,000aires, people who buy into stuff and forget about it. And next thing you know, they log in and they're up 20, 30,000. You still have NASDAQs that, catch people off guard. And now they have to turn around and cover for thousands of dollars worth of losses. I mean, the game is still the same. You just have different players every year or 2 years. And some people come and go. But the strategy is a strategy, and if it's effective, and many times, many different markets, or sometimes you have a strategy for a different kind of market. So it all depends. But for the most part, man, the stock market has been the same since I've been trading it anyway.
Thanks, Sal. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you for the call. All right, so let's start looking over some of these tickers here. I see somebody brought up DOLV. DOLV was one of the biggest gainers on the market today. DOLV, nice trade, by the way, for somebody, because that's a stock we've been watching here for a minute. So DOLV with a nice day today. 91% gain on DOLV. Nice gain in that stock today. Very pretty looking chart right there. Look at that beautiful chart look at that. That's a beautiful looking chart right there. Beautiful looking chart right there. It's an incredible amount of volume. Interesting volume that's coming in later in the day. Typically, you'll see this in the morning, but the stock, started off really slow, hugging the 200-day moving average. All right, this was your guideline. Again, when you're talking about these OTCs, you'll be surprised how many times, you got to pull out these moving averages lines, because that's kind of what they use as support. All right. I did see somebody say that his strategy works for OTCs as well. That Stock Guide's RSI strategy works for OTCs. I believe it probably does. I'm sure it probably does, especially if it's a very liquid day or it's got a huge catalyst. All right. If it's just, another regular day, I wouldn't trade it like that. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, let me see here. Stock God says he sees his plays, and yeah, I actually do see it. I see a couple times you could have did it actually. I really think I could see it like right here. I could see it right here. Absolutely. There are a couple times in this where, volume died out and you could have taken a nice little position. Oh yeah. I mean, this weekend I became a pro on his strategy, man. I became a pro. I'm gonna try it again for an OTC tomorrow. We'll see what's liquid. See how it works out. Because I believe on the OTC side, if you can master his strategy on the OTC side, goddamn. You're talking about incredibly lower risk, because now you're talking about going into a trade with just like $500 and then coming out, with a huge return. 270, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, Saul, this is Olivia. I called in last week sometime, and I was the girl that predicted that USRM stock at 2 cents a share.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes, I do remember. Yeah. Yes, I remember you.
After that show, I got on Twitter and added Astrid, and me and her have been talking. She's been asking me about the phases, and USRM, she sent me a link to a news link that they had just posted about USRM. One of their trials is going to phase 3, and I was wondering what you thought about that. Unfortunately, I can't look at your show right now because I'm using my phone.
Sure.
And but so could you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, yes, I saw the news in the phase, and I also saw an interesting interview by one of their scientists. It's actually a woman, and I'm going to see if I could find that link.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Did you listen to that interview?
Yeah, you can post it. I'm sorry?
Yeah, did you listen to that interview with their, like, one of the...
No, sir, I
okay.
didn't.
Let me see here. I'll try to find it, and I'll post it a little later. But yeah, she talked about how the company is doing a lot of great things, and yeah, they are moving into that phase 2. The stock is down a little bit. I mean, obviously, some people are taking profits, and a lot of OTC investors have a short-term thinking mindset. So you're gonna have people exit and come in and exit. So that's kind of the natural way of things. So. I think you also had a hater video that was put out this weekend by, I forgot what's his name, some dude out there, but he has no following. So, but with that being said, I would just hang on. I mean, you know what's coming. Although I didn't like that. I mean, for 1 cent though. I mean, that's the end of the thing. It just go down 1 cent.
Oh my God. I'm hitting myself in the head for not investing at 2 cents. Like it might, how that money, like in Ameritrade, it takes 7 days for the money to hit your account. Well, it was the day after that it popped to 8 cents. So I was like, oh my gosh. But I'm sorry to take some of your time, but I've got actually a couple of questions about some other stocks that I've been researching a little bit.
Go ahead.
I remember you talking on your show. I didn't get to catch much. I had to actually watch the show not live. I just fast forward to the part where Stock God came on and was talking about the different way of the different use of his tickers, about like something to do with a bar.
The bar.
I forget what stocks he brought up, but it was from I think it was last Friday's show.
Yeah.
And Stock God came on, and you showed that big picture of how he was playing it, and he was on there talking. And I saw that NYDX had one of those, and but it went down today.
Okay.
What are your opinions on that? I probably will listen in. Hopefully, Stock God is tuned in on this.
Yeah. He's in the chat room right now.
Okay.
Let me see here. That's the daily. Let me see. Let me go to if you would have done the 1 minute chart today. Here's the 1 minute chart, and yeah. See, I can't read. That's why I see some of these stocks. His strategy, and again, this is the 1 minute. This is the 1 minute chart.
Yeah.
I don't see how I would have used his RSI strategy on this. I don't see it. I don't know if you have.
Okay, so I just got some misinformation. And then I wanted to bring up another stock that Astrid actually was talking about being maybe a long-term play. It's a AMLH, American Leisure, I do believe.
Yeah, so Astrid knows a lot about this stock. She has been following it well. And, I mean, this stock has been soaring. And the reason why it's been soaring, because the CEO has done a really good job of being front and center with the company, open with everything that's going on, and also really aggressive about, creating new business opportunities for the company.
I noticed that. I read some news on it, and they just posted 2 different news things. How old is the company? It didn't seem very old. I looked up a 5-year chart and I couldn't find it.
Yeah, the company's probably not that old. It looks like at one
time it was like 30 cents a share, I think.
Yeah. So I mean, but I do know that the business is relatively new. So this line of business that they're in now is relatively new. So I wouldn't use the old. What the stock did in the past to really determine, especially what they're doing now in the E line of sports. But we'll see what happens with this stock. But yeah, people aren't enjoying those gains, and it's still going up. And I've said it here, a penny is definitely in line for the stock. I think you'll get a penny. We'll see. Tuesday, I think, is tomorrow. Tomorrow is a really big day for the stock, and we'll see what happens.
out of AMLH, do you think I'll get a penny out of that? Because I mean, I can invest in the morning because it says the ask in the morning is 0049. So if I get up like first thing in the morning and transfer like $100 into 0049, do you think I could make some money off of it in the next couple of days?
Well, yeah. I mean, if the CEO keeps doing what he's doing right now, I mean, you've already been able to make a killing. Last week, especially if you were in the stock last week, you're already up almost.
I just learned about it.
Yeah, 51%.
Just messaged me about it.
Yeah. So I mean, the stocks.
Let me see here. By the way.
Yeah, definitely shout out to Astrid on that.
Helping each other out a lot, and I'm really learning a lot. I mean, it seems like, because I've been studying tickers, she hasn't, and she's been studying tickers that I haven't, so we're able to kind of team up and listen to you at the same time and both learn off of each other.
Yeah.
And it's really nice. I really appreciate, and shout out to you, man. Like, I'm learning so much, and this has become one of my favorite hobbies. Like, I'm so pumped about this. Even though I don't have much invested, like, this is probably one of the best decisions I feel like I've ever made in my life.
Wow, appreciate it. Thank you so much, 270.
Yeah, no, seriously. I mean, this is fun as hell for me, man. And I look forward to every other show that I'm going to be tuning in, probably calling in, and hopefully maybe making some money.
Will do. Appreciate your call. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
All right. So shout out to 270. And man, I can still tell like her indecision about buying USRM when it was 2 cents a share is still eating her up, right? You can tell she's like, oh, why didn't I jump on that amazing opportunity? Because she probably thought about buying it, and you can tell it's still kind of eating her up inside. But real quick, just to answer her question on AMLH, it's really hot right now. It's really, really hot right now. So just be a little bit careful, all right? Because you really haven't had like a serious down day. I mean, it's had a couple down. It's had 1 or 2 down days as it's been soaring, but I believe another one is coming. So if you want to be maybe just be patient, a day or two. Get that red day. Get that stock at a discount. I think it'll work out better for you. All right, Prolix. Shout out to you, Prolix. Yes, indeed. Stock God. Yeah, I don't know if she said hobby or not. I don't know if she said trading or a hobby or whatnot. But, not everybody starts off as serious until they really see the money coming in. But, once the money comes in, it's like, oh, shit. I just made more on a day trade or more on this one trade that I make in a day on my job. Some people, get a $700 gain or something one day. That's more than most people make in a day at work. For most people, $700. So, you put in $250 or something like that, and it just goes insane, on the OT side, like Silio today, SISLIO, which I believe was a pump. You put in $250. You had something like that in here at 0002, and then you watch it go to 00013. You're getting 225% on your money on a $200 investment. That's a good. I mean, how you can't beat that, man? But it worked if you're already sitting in it. All right. Who's calling me here? 646. You're on the air. What's up?
Hey, it's Juan Perez.
Hey, Juan. What's up, man?
How are you? Good?
Good. What you got for us today, man?
So I just have a general question, right? In regards to setting up your support and resistance levels, right? Mm-hmm. So I just have a general question. I want to know sort of your input on this. Say you have XYZ, right? Stock XYZ, and you studied it and you put your support at $1 and then your resistance at $1.15, right? But it's trading at, let's say, $1.11, right? So you know that you don't want to buy it at $1.11 because it potentially can just go down to $1.10, to $1, and you'll lose some cash. Or it can go to $1.15 and then just crash down. So my question is, in that situation, you probably want to wait until it hits above the support, the resistance level, right? Mm-hmm. So that you can buy above the resistance, right? So my question is there I don't know if there's a general rule of thumb, or is it something very subjective where you have to wait a certain amount of time for the stock to give you a confirmation that it's staying above that resistance for it to become the new support, so that you could be confident enough to buy in, right? Because what happens to me, happened to me a couple of times, is that I'll buy in when I'll set up my alert on my phone for the resistance level. I'm just going to give you that example, and then I'll wait a minute or two, and then it stays at the resistance, and then it goes up. If that example that I'm giving you, $1.15, it goes up to $1.17, and it stays there, and I'll buy at $1.17 because I'm feeling like that's a confirmation that it's staying above that level, and it might go up a little bit higher. But all of a sudden, it crashes, it goes down, and it just it dips. So, is there some sort of, or how will you approach that? How long will you wait, or what will you look for it to be, for you to be confident enough to say this stock is going to stay at this level, or is going to go up a little bit higher?
Sure. So, all right. So for guys who don't understand what he's talking about basically when resistance becomes support, and making sure you identify that, this resistance point that's been broken through is actual real support, and the stock will continue to move higher from that. So what I'd like to do is that when I'm trying to find a good stock that might show that, what I like to do is, if a stock is broken through resistance, I like to make sure that it's going to stay above that by allowing the stock to test that support level, which was previous resistance, right? So if the stock was at, resistance was at 115, the stock goes to 117, I'm waiting for the stock to come back to 115 to test that previous resistance as support and show me that the stock is going to use that previous resistance as support. So I allow it to come back and double tap that previous resistance line and prove to me that is now a support line. So I'm not, I'm not buying typically the first breakout. I'm coming back and allowing the stock to come back, pull back to that resistance line, use it as support, and that second go, I want to join that. I want to be a part of that second go.
I see what you're saying. So I guess it was just me being very impatient as to thinking that once it broke that resistance level, that is just going to skyrocket from there on, instead of waiting a couple more minutes to see how long it will take for it to come back down.
Absolutely.
To that support, to that resistance level.
Absolutely.
Right. So, all right, that makes sense. Thanks for that. And I just like one last question in regards to that RSI strategy. I know I asked you this afternoon on the Discord, and I just took my time to look at the video just now, and then just listening to you at the beginning of the show. So it's sort of like in relation to the question I had originally just now. So, how long? I guess the question is when you see the RSI going up right after it went down a bit. It's not a guarantee that it's going to continue going up, right? It's just going to just either fake you or just try to say it's going up, but then like a second later, it drops it back down. So is there like another indicator besides the RSI that will help you sort of identify and give you that second opportunity to believe that this will continue up for the next 2 or 5 or 6 minutes so that you can make some profit?
No, I tried to look at that. I even thought maybe even the money flow index, because if you look at Stock God's RSI strategy and you put in the money flow, sometimes you'll actually see when he talks about getting in when the RSI pulls back, you'll see money leaving out of the stock. But the problem is that I saw a lot of fake, indications and a lot of other plays that I would backtest using the money flow indicator. So really the only way that works is using RSI and then just proper timing. RSI and proper timing, man. And again, yes, you do have situations where the stock breaks down. I mean, let me see. Was that C? Sometimes when the stock breaks down, I think we looked at, let me see here. Was that CLNT? Because I remember looking at CLNT on the 1 minute chart, and let me see here. on the 1 minute chart. And yeah, you could have got faked out a couple times. If you look back on the 7th on Friday, between like 9:40 and 9:50, the stock started to flag, and this could have been a fake out for you. I mean, you would have been able to get in here and thinking like, oh, okay, the RSI is low, and it's a perfect setup. We just got off a top off the RSI. Let me get in here, and then boom, you got caught slipping. So, it's not perfect, and he doesn't say it's perfect, but it does work. But you're just gonna have to understand that it's not 100%. So you're gonna get faked out. But,
I would agree. It's not.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, I would agree. It's not 100% accurate. I mean, the guy has probably studied it in and out, and he is very comfortable with his own strategy. And I thank him for sharing it. But I in my opinion, it's super subjective to his feelings now that he sees a certain pattern to it, and he knows he can identify it right away because of how he's done it before.
Right.
And I might learn it. I might learn it too. Just it'll take some trial and error.
Absolutely.
All right, man. But that was it, man. But thank you so much for your time again.
Appreciate it. Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for the call. So yeah, I mean, absolutely. Absolutely. You just got to be able to read charts. It's not absolutely what Stock God has said. Mm-hmm. 402, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, who am I speaking with?
Hey, I'm doing all right. I need some help, man. I'm confused. I need some help on this. Did you take a look at GBSND today?
All right, so GBSND reverse split today, and now it's got let me see here, a price of $255.50. So let me see here, and so it started off the morning at its new price. I think it opened up at, what did it open up at, like $6? Actually, I think actually a lot higher than that. So yeah, that stock reverse split today, and then the shorters ate it alive, basically.
Yeah, I was wondering what was going on with that today. That was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's again, the stock, reverse split, and it came out the gate at $6, and the market didn't want it at $6, and sure enough, you had people, dumping their shares, and who wanted to get out, unfortunately, have to sell at a lower price, and eventually got to a stock where people wanted it, which is now $255, and we'll see how long it stays at that level.
Gotcha. And one of my questions was, what's the difference between GBSND and GBSN? Or do you know?
Well, no, same company. I mean, GBSND is the same. It's the same stock. The GBSN, is GBSN still trading? Hold on, GBSN. Let me see here. Is that? All right. So yeah, this 40-cent play should be canceled out by now. Can you still trade the regular GBSN? I don't know if you can still trade GBSN, the regular OTC ticker now, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, that one should be canceled out eventually, and then the D will get off the GBSN D, and it'll eventually be the only GBSN out there.
Okay, gotcha. And that leads me to my third and final question. Where do they go from here? Does the cycle keep going on? Do they keep doing reverse splits and disappointing their investors over and over again, or do you think they'll eventually ever get to a stable point?
Yeah, I think this is it for now. You got to remember, GBSN was a NASDAQ stock. It was a stock that traded on the NASDAQ, was eventually delisted because the business just it didn't catch on, and they've been trading on the NASDAQ, on the OTCs now for, I want to say, maybe 5 or 6 months. So, lately they've been doing really, really good, putting out great news, FDA announcements here and there. So they reverse split. I believe the goal is eventually to get back to the NASDAQ because there's, a significant amount of respect and coverage that comes with being on the NASDAQ exchange. So they're looking to get back at that level. I think if you're looking at GBSN, try to figure out where the lowest of the low of the entry that is a possibility for you, because I think you actually have another red day tomorrow in the stock. So, but if anything, I'll probably leave this alone for a little bit, man. Honestly.
Yeah. That's definitely what I think I'll do. I was just curious to see what you thought about that.
Yeah.
And that's it for me, man. I really appreciate you taking my call. I'm gonna keep watching and appreciate everything you do. And thank you for taking my call.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. All right, we got 200 people in here. 11 o'clock p.m. Shout out to everybody watching. Go ahead and press like on this video right now. Press like on this video right now. Somebody's talking about WNBD. What's going on with WNBD? Okay, not that WNBD. WNBD Winning Brands OTC stock. All right, up 200% from 0001 to 0003. I mean, hey, that shit happens. Winning Brands. All right, yeah, all right. That's a nice move for them. Again, I you're gonna have to see what's going on here with that. I see some buys in here today. Don't know much. I mean, let me know what's going on with it. If you think it's a buy, what's going on with the stock? There are a couple other OTCs we've been watching as well too. One of them being SWET. SWET came back down today. Opened up at 0045 and pulling back to 0004. All right. So pulling back a little bit on SWET. SFOR is running. Somebody saying Strikeforce Technologies is running. Let's see here. All right, Strikeforce Technologies. All right, 12% day for that stock. Interesting. 347, you're on the air. What's up?
So, Jamal, thanks for taking the call.
Hey, what's up, Jamal?
Hey, what's up? Yeah, I was calling in because I used Stock God strategy with the OTC strategy that I was using. And shit is like, I was blind, now I can see. It's almost like a clairvoyant, kind of like a foreshadowing technique with the RSI. And GLLK is the one I'm using it on now. And that's a gold play. Came out with some news earlier today about, what exactly did they say? Something around 9 o'clock. They said something that got everybody in a tizzy. So they gave a shareholders update. So what I did with this strategy, I kind of lined up and saw where the base of the RSI was bouncing off of, and I used the daily chart, and that kind of timed it pretty well to get in at 0003, and then it's just been adding, like it's been trading back and forth, bouncing from 0004, 0003. Now it's hovering at 0004. So it should break 0004 and go into 5 by tomorrow. But I've also used that strategy on a couple other plays that have been bouncing around. One play that looks very interesting for tomorrow is, in the OTC market, is PMEA. And using the daily chart with Stock God strategy, it's playing similar. Now, my strategy was basically I wanted to see it in the OTC play in the 20-day moving average, the middle line. I like to see it steady, a couple of days, a couple of candles in that range. Now, with his strategy, it's almost showing me a couple days prior, showing me where the bottom's at, and then it bounces into the 20-day moving average and hovers in there, and then it takes off. That's what I'm starting to see. I'm seeing that with that play, PMEA, and also CCTL. Looks like it's doing the same thing.
Now, okay, so you're intraday trading using that RSI strategy?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm waiting for it to come down, and like like here's a great one right now. LBTB. Now LBTB, you're able to see on the daily chart that it's now retracing back.
Hold on, what's the ticker with that? What's the ticker with that?
LBTG, sorry.
Okay, TG. Liberty Coal, okay.
So I've been watching this because this is now coming back down, and it looks like it's about to touch the baseline again.
I don't know, man. I don't know how you guys
don't think so?
Well, I mean, my thing is like I'm not even seeing the buys to support it because, you know, again, I don't doubt that you can intraday you can jump on an OTC stock intraday that's running. I don't doubt that, but using the RSI because the buys are so infrequent, right? I don't see how you don't get faked out multiple times.
Well, yeah, you're exactly right. So the same stock that we're looking at, LBTG, and I'm gonna take my time so I explain it as best as I possibly could to you and all the listeners. So you can definitely get faked out, as you can see, going back on probably March 16th. It touched the bottom, then all of a sudden from the 21st all the way into the 24th, it touched that bottom again. And it touched the bottom again on April 3rd.
Right.
And then it took off. So that's the pattern I've been seeing a lot. It's been a 3-touch week. It's been touching 3 times on the bottom line in the RSI and then taking off. It kind of it's doing exactly what it shows there. The same play happened today on the pump, SLIO, I think. Mm-hmm. Touched 3 times, and then on the 3rd time, it crooked it off and kind of straightened out, and it took off the next day.
Okay. So these are over multiple days, not necessarily the same day.
No. See, that's the main difference between like the NASDAQs and the Amex plays and the OTC plays. The main difference is you can't use the one minute chart. You have to use the daily chart. These plays and these bounces span weeks. So you can see the first bounce 2 weeks ago, then last week, and then late last week was a 3rd bounce, and then it took off this week. So it does span a 2 to 3 week period of the bounces of the RSI. You just got to time it correctly and review all of the bounces on that RSI line. Because I've been doing that with, like I said, CCTL. Another one, which is interesting, is that did the same thing and took off today was MMHC. Same 3 bounce kind of deal and took off.
Okay.
Yeah, man, it's one of these things where I'm looking around, I'm starting to see more and more in the OTC plays. You're correct. You put in $300 down at like the 333, 222 mark, and it takes off. You get to like 888, and you've made a hell of a profit.
Okay, definitely. Yes, sir, man. Thank you so much for the call, man.
No worries.
All right, so I appreciate 347 in this call. Again, I love Stock God strategy, but I mean, I'm gonna need one of you guys to record maybe a trade or something like that and show me how it works for triples, man. You know, because triples, you know, you play it on news, investor sentiment, and the daily chart. So every trade being one day and using those to kind of let you know where you are in the grand scheme of things. So obviously if the trade is running and is incredibly liquid for the day, I can see that. But when we're talking about illiquid day trades, illiquid stocks intraday, using that RSI, I don't see how you do that. When it's only got, 30 purchases. You know what I'm saying? Again, one of y'all record that shit who's doing that and who's talking about doing it. Record one of your trades and then come back and let us know and do what Stock God does and post and let us know. Because I don't want to go into like hyperboles and hey, this is what could happen, this is what could happen, because then we start getting into that world, Yeah, RCHA. I see some people in the chat room catching up with that RCHA news. Yeah, they got a new board member today, a Dr. Salvador or something like that. All right, and he brings an incredible amount of experience to the board and research with GlaxoSmithKline, which is it's a huge pharmaceutical company. I mean, that's nice. I mean, they're bringing people on, but I mean, I like the fact that the company's putting out a lot of news. So we'll see what happens with it. But again, I'm kind of looking long-term view because that's not really game-changing news. But it's going to get some people into the stock, though. But that's not the kind of news that's going to have it run from 0003 to 0013 like we had Silo run today. I'm looking for one of these Silo moves. You know what I'm saying? 0003 to 0013, 200% gain in one day. All right. And you just wait it out, man. It comes. Yeah, you can't buy RCHA with Charles Schwab. Yeah, just another member. That's not going to do anything. 443, you're on the air. What's up?
What's up, Miss Sal? This is Tim. I sent you a message on Twitter a couple of days ago about your the stock scanner, I think it was.
Okay, yeah.
So anyway, I want to just give you a quick question for you. Just wanted to see what are some of the main, I guess, filters you're using in the morning when you're scanning your stocks. I'm getting things set up now. I'm kind of setting some filters. I just want to kind of get an idea of some of the main ones that you're setting for the most part, just to find some, some early day moves.
Well, I mean, the ones that they come out with, gap ups and the ones that come preloaded are already pretty good. But for a standard setup that I've created before, preferably anything under $10, minimum a minimum of at least. And I'm talking about OTCs now. Minimum of at least 200 trades. And I want to see at least $100,000 in volume.
Okay, cool.
200, 100,000 in volume, and that's just for the morning. And then as the day wears out, you adjust it here and there. But that's pretty much what I want to see. But when I want to get really tight, then go down to let's say 25 cents. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you don't want to go out, because sometimes I like to see where those other, stocks that move like Buds and Can and Canopy and all those that are doing intraday. But I mean, that's pretty much my setup.
Okay, cool. So when it starts running initially in the morning, are you hopping in like once it pulls back, or you kind of what are you looking for to initially hop in the stock if it's going up? Are you waiting for it to gap up a little bit for it to pull back for the most part? Are you looking for?
Yeah, so here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't like chasing stocks, man. And one thing you'll learn about me is I like very low risk. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about it's moving up. Like I'm just gonna jump on. No, I don't like doing that. So I love buying the pullback. That's why I was so excited about Stock God Strategy, because it plays to what I believe is the safe, smart trading rule. You know what I'm saying? So it's safe and it's smart. Okay. But when we're talking about OTCs in particular, man, I like for low risk. I like stocks that ain't doing shit but putting out news. I like stuff like that because I like the whole meat of the move. You know what I mean?
I got you. So if it's moving, in the morning, you're pretty much not going to be hopping on.
No, it's probably
the night before.
Right, I'll probably the night before or the next day when I look at the candlestick and see where it is in the grand scheme of things. But I'm not jumping onto no OTC thing when I don't know what the hell's going on, especially an OTC stock.
Right. Okay. Got it. Okay. That makes sense. All right. Sounds good. All right, man. Thanks again for the help. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call. Yeah. When some of these OTC stocks are running and, I don't know what the hell's going on. I ain't jumping in. I don't know what the hell's going on, man. BLTO. I see somebody bringing up BLTO. For example, you have a stock, just to go back to that guy's question, like Zeno. ZENO right now, that's running crazy. Zeno is a situation where, you don't have to jump in intraday, although it's been doing very well intraday. But if you like the stock, the first day it started running, you could have looked at that candlestick and say, oh, wow, that's bullish confirmation here. And we would have jumped on and made a lot more money riding Zeno over the course of several days than just trying to get 10% in one day. BLTO, if you guys remember, BLTO was the bingo stock. The bingo stock that we talked about here that started off at $1 on that pump. And a lot of people were laughing at BLTO, but I mean, the stock is up now. You're going to touch $3. You're going to touch $3 in BLTO because, a lot of people, for whatever reason, they don't like pump and dumps. Although, it's easier to trade. I know BLTO has made more money in the last week and a half than I know some people in this chat room, not no pun intended. But I know some people who are laughing at BLTO who I know ain't making no money. You should have been on BLTO. Trading is hard, man. Trading is hard. And if you don't know what you're doing, you need to probably look at some of these pump and dumps, man. You need to look at some of these pump and dumps. And ride them a day or two or three. Get that email. I got a video on that. Get yourself a separate email. Sign up to these letters. Find out who's good, who's bad. 603, you're on the air. What's up? 603, you're on the air. What's up? All right.
Get out of here, you damn nigga!
All right. CEGX. What's going on with CEGX? Is that back? Let me see here. CEGX. 0058. Yeah, he just wanted to hear me breathe or something. I don't know what that was about. 0058. CEGX. You guys remember CEGX pulled back a little bit. The candlesticks are, the thing about CEGX is that they're fighting. It's a real battle right now between buyers and sellers. I don't like how volume is decreasing, though, man. It's scaring me a little bit. You like to see that volume, stay tight, and the RSI is still relatively hot because the stock pulled back, but it hasn't been strong enough to say, to show a real crack in the armor. We talked about CIE. I mean, Cobalt Energy is doing really well. You had a really good, what was that, Thursday, Friday in CIE. All right. And today the stock pulls back. CIE, those are stocks that are going to run on, oil and, it's a New York Stock Exchange stock. So very liquid, though. I love how liquid it is. Are we somewhere after hours in it or something? Is that why everybody's jumping on it? Let me see here, man. CIE. Yeah, actually, okay, no, nothing's going on with it, man. BLTO to go to 350. Uh-oh. Let me see here. UAL. United is dumping after hours. If United is dumping after hours because some guy got beat up on the plane, that's a buy. I mean, you find the low on that and you buy that. I mean, seriously? Is that what really, we're going to start selling and dumping shares because of that? It's down $1. Come on, man. That's a fucking joke. I mean, I can understand if, there was a plane accident or they flew into a fucking middle school or some shit like that because some guy got his ass beat up on a plane. Get the fuck out of here, man. What's that line in that movie, man? Bitches get killed every day or something like that? XCO. Yeah, the media just needs something to talk about, man. They just need something to talk about. XCO, 57 cents a share. Because I'm looking at that United situation the way, other people look at situation. I'll just say, stop resisting. Get your ass off the plane, motherfucker. Stop resisting. They're going to give you a free flight. Get the fuck off the plane. No, everybody's got that guy's side. Stop resisting. How about that? Get your ass off the plane. ELED, Excel, Excel ED. I don't know how to pronounce the name of that company, but god damn. See, y'all need to get me up on something like this before it runs. How about y'all do something like that, man? Man, shout out to everybody who's in this stock. You making a killing if you in this stock right now, man. From 0030. Obviously, this is a pump, but who's pumping it? Let me know. 614, you're back on the air. What's up?
Hey, Sal, K. Harvey here. How you doing, sir?
Hey, what's going on, K. Harvey?
All right. Listen, first of all, I want to thank you. Ever since I heard you call last week and I follow you on Twitter, I looked at your stock picks for over the weekend, and I jumped on the one you suggested, ELED. I bought 39,000 shares of that.
Yeah. Now here's the thing about ELED, because I had that on my list, man, and I thought it was already too high, but it keeps going, man, and it's one of those things where, again, I just said I wish I had saw it a lot earlier, but obviously he had a really nice gain today. Do you think these gains are going to keep going?
I don't know. That's the thing. That's why I'm calling, because I was trying to get in. I still got the Scottrade account, and for anybody out there that's listening, if you take them a cashier's check right to the office, they can put the money in immediately, and you can use it for everything, same as cash, even penny stocks. So that's what I did, and I had to push it through the manager, because he was asking me, he was like, well, you can wait till tomorrow. I said, no, I need to do it now, because I need to jump in on this stock. And I barely got in on it right before once it crossed over to 1 cent. And like I said, when I looked at your suggestion, I looked at the chart. The chart was beautiful, and I was trying to get in there at 9 cents. You know what I mean? It just took off. It had a low at 9 and never dropped back for the whole day for the most part. I mean, it hasn't been doing that since last Friday. It's just consistently 005, 8, 9. So that's the reason why I'm calling, because I'm just like, I don't know when these guys are going to take profit. I'm thinking, obviously it must be very few shorts, because nobody's really selling.
Yeah,
like
nobody's selling at all. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah,
I mean, when
exactly.
looking at the chart, I mean, enjoy the profits. I mean, obviously some people are taking profits. I see a little wicks here. So yeah, you've had some wicks where people have gone lower, but for the most part, it's been bought up. So, yeah, I mean, if you're up really nicely in the stock, I'll probably start taking some stocks off the table here. But yeah, you've benefited from multiple days.
Today, I'm only up $100. So I mean, I didn't know. That's why I'm calling in.
Well, how much do you have in it?
I got 39,000 shares.
Well, how much? I mean, how much is your original investment?
At a penny. I bet $425.
$425?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're up 100.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean,
I was thinking about riding until the end of the week, man. See what happens. I mean, I don't know. So that's why I'm calling, because I might ride this for a minute.
Yeah, I think you caught this a little bit late, man. I'll probably take that. I'll probably take that, because you're kind of a little bit late on the run, man. And I would hate for you to end up having to sell, with a $30 gain or some shit like that. So
you don't think it could do an MMX and go to 5 cents or even 3? Because that's kind of what I'm feeling.
I mean, the stock started at 0030. I mean, the stock went from 0030 to a penny in a matter of 5 days. You're up huge already. The stock is already up huge. So, if you had gotten in, after maybe 3 or 2 days of great gains, I'd say, hold on. But now what is that, 7 days now? So I don't know, man. You got some people that are up huge in this already. You know, this is another stock that, you know, if you go back a little bit farther in the chart, it was a 000 play. It was a 000, you know, 8009 play not too long ago.
Right.
So you got some people up here who are sitting up on a ton of cash, and when they start selling, you're gonna be fucked, man.
Yeah, I know. That's why that was my biggest worry. I mean, I'm like, when will that time be? Because I do know it's coming. So just like in MMX or whatever, EX or what have you, because that went all the way up to 5 cents. And then it just came crashing down back to 1. Yeah. So, you know, that's pretty much why I call, you know what I mean? I mean, you saying take my profit and run. I might give it another day. I don't know, bro. That's where I'm at right now. You know, try to lock something in maybe. I'm kind of hoping, obviously, you know, the hope is that these guys know something I don't know and they just want to keep on. But obviously, I find my niche too, Sal. I'm double the zeros crossing over to the penny. So I'm not even playing anything over 2 cents. So if I'm already long in CEGX, and you know we haven't cracked the 1 cent notion, but if I'm thinking like they're thinking, as soon as you hit 2-3, I'm cashing out. So that's kind of like where I'm at right with this play.
Yes, indeed, man. Appreciate the call, bro.
Oh no, one more. One of them you sent out H something about Flow Rider. I bought 250,000 shares of that.
Yeah, it's called American Premium Water Company. American Premium Water Company, HIPH.
I bought 250 shares.
Yeah, it's at 0002 right now. They're looking to go on Amazon here sometime within the next 30 days. It's pure water company, alkaline type play.
Right.
Float is only, I want to say, less than 300 million floating out there.
Right.
So, you know, the business is it's an upstart, just started going. So they got a deal signed with Flow Rider last month. The news was out. So I mean, right now, you know, the company's working itself. You know, they got some issues with supply and whatnot, but they're getting out there. They're going really heavy. The guy is on Twitter. He's on Instagram. You can contact him. So, you know, it's coming. It's coming along. So it's a stock that I got in, and you know, we'll see what happens to American Premium Water.
All right, so you telling me take my little 100 and run, or you know, I'm more looking at 2 cents. I mean, I'm not gonna let you down. I watch it all the time. So
yes, indeed, man.
I don't know, bro. I'm thinking about going for the 2 cents.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night. I'm watching this show. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call, 614. So yeah, I mean, look, you know, if it was up to me personally, I'll tell him to take his profits, man. You know, ELED, you know, I caught it late. I caught it too late. Just the hourly chart, you know, beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful, you know, since April the 3rd. Absolutely beautiful chart. You know, I take my profits and go home now. You put up $400, you made another 100. Just take it and run with it. But because you caught it late. You know, if you would have got back in on the 5th, you know, after that first 20% gain, then I would have been all over for you. But you're talking about a stock that's up 1,300% since the middle of February. You know what I mean? Some people who've been holding a lot longer than you are sitting on a gold mine right now. And you're now at the highest volume the stock has ever had. Right? So now they've got the license to sell to all these new people like you. And that's what they're going to start doing here in just a bit. I believe that. 909, you're on the air. What's up?
Hello?
909.
Okay, I'm calling you back. What do you want?
Oh, shit.
Hello?
It's been a minute since we had a troll, man. It's been a minute. TXE. Let me see here. TXE. TXHE. No, that's definitely not that TXHE. Oh, okay. Texahoma Energy. Yeah, see, that's another one, man. That's another one. Damn, nice move by TXHE. Almost 300 million shares traded today. 0002 to 0008. Not bad, but again, we'll see what happens with that one. Kind of missed the meat of the move on that one. That's another triple that went insane. Yeah. International Cannabis Corp. What's the ticker for that one? I'm not too familiar with that one. 904, you're on the air.
What's going on, Sal? It's Luke.
Hey, what's up, man?
I want to talk to you about CBR. What you think about that bankruptcy today?
Man, CBR is broke, man. Let me see here. CBR. I don't even know if are they still even trading anymore?
Yeah, they halted it at 25 cents, and I see it was at 31 cents at the end of the day.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's a wrap, man. That's what that means. It's a wrap for the CBR. That's what that means, man. And CBR was already a dangerous stock to play. That's why I was always nervous when people would call up about that, man.
But the guy was telling me that I didn't know what I was talking about. I told him that I talked to the people, and the people said, I hope he ain't all still. He was in it. I talked to the people told me bankruptcy was on the table.
Yeah.
I talked to the people for a long time.
Yeah.
But I want to know what you were thinking about that. I'm still into that BPMX. I wrote me a strategy out today. I said I was going to stick to it. But it still finished below. It still keep making higher highs.
Yeah.
I couldn't sell. I couldn't sell it. I'm like, it still finished at the high of the day. A little over. I think the high of the day was 71. It finished at 72 cents. So I don't know what this thing's trying to do. I'm thinking it's going to pop, but it never popped. Like really go crazy, but it never go crazy. I don't know why it's doing that.
Yeah, man, you've had some amazing looking candlesticks and incredible volume in the stock. And I mean, have you been following the news? What's the cause for this right now, man? I mean, why is it moving like this? I mean, you're at the top of the bands now. Put the Bollinger Band back on. You've been hugging the 20-day moving average for days now, and sure enough, it just bounced off of it. I'll probably take my profits here if you're up early or up big in the stock right now. I mean, from 54 to 72 cents, almost 20 cents a share in a matter of 3 days. That's a solid return, man.
Yeah, I posted solely. I said I'm gonna write down everything I'm gonna do and I'm gonna execute. But I just couldn't say it. I don't know. I really blow it out in the day, but you never know what it's gonna do. I'm thinking it's just gonna blow up because it just keep breaking new highs. You're thinking, looking at the videos, it's supposed to shoot up, but I guess it ain't gonna do. I guess it's gonna be a slow roller.
Mm-hmm.
But I was watching episode 16 the other night while I was driving.
Okay.
And I was listening to old videos of Treasure Hunter.
Yeah.
And Treasure Hunter was getting on you for shitting on his picks. and then I listened to Mr. Lord. He don't know what the hell he was talking about. He was just all over the place. I said these old episodes are so funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's so crazy, man, because the guys, like I said, those old episodes, it's so funny because truckers like you love those old episodes because we would go like 4 or 5 hours on those episodes. And a lot of those guys who call up now, and you can tell that they sound very knowledgeable, but at the beginning, most of them didn't really know what they were talking about. They'd admit that to you, beginning. A lot of them were all learning and into penny stocks for the first time. So it's been a huge growth for a lot of those guys. I'm proud of them.
I thought Treasure Hunter was high. So we talk about treasure. I'm looking for some more treasures. And your face expression, you look like, what the hell? I'm searching for treasures, and you just shit on my picture. This is crazy. I said, man, you came a long way. But that stock guard strategy work. I don't know what you was in today, CYTR or something. What you was in today?
I was
playing today?
Yeah, today I was playing CYTX. And it's so funny because that stock ended up shitting on investors after hours, I think, right now. I think they shitted on investors after hours, but yeah, that's what I played today.
But it did. But the stock guard strategy worked intraday.
Yes.
It did do it. And when it consolidated, when it's consolidated, that thing popped.
Yes.
And I was even at seeing things at disco where I said, man, this is stock guard strategy right here.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, if my money wasn't tied up in one thing, I would have played that play.
Yeah.
Because it played out just like he said it would.
Yeah.
So I don't know what people are talking about. And I think people are looking for it to go all the way down. But you got to look at the bottom of that RSI, and you got to use that, the RSI support and resistance also.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it pop, you don't even have to go back up to 70 for you to make some money.
Right.
You just got to see it going back up. I think people trying to see it go over 70 and think it's supposed to know. If you just see it rolling and you see it consolidating, and once you see it making that move up, you got to get in and have your tight stop.
Right.
That's the way I'm looking at it. So when I get through with BMPX, I think I'm gonna go in big on the play. It's time for me to put my big boy pants on now. Time for me to put my big boy pants. But that's it for me, Sal. USCI shitting on people. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with that one right now, but I mean, again, that's the long haul thing. So we'll see what's going on with that one. But you know, that's just another. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. We'll be watching it, man. I'm gonna probably grab some more myself. But yes, indeed.
I got another 150. Got another 150,000. So I'm eating all them 000. I think I'm gonna start paying the 000 for a little minute too.
Okay.
But y'all have a good day, man. I'm still out here trucking. I'm gonna listen to some more of these old episodes. Because Mr. Lloyd didn't know what the hell he was talking about, trying to get on me.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate it, man. Brother. Yes, indeed. Appreciate him, man. Going back to listening to some of those old jams. Some of those old jams with that horrible camera and slow-ass internet. But we were, loyal 40 or 30 dudes, man, every night. Back then. We had like 30, 40 dudes every night, man, going 4 or 5 hours talking about pennies. And Treasure Hunter made a killing because at the beginning, I wasn't really feeling a lot of the trips just because the dilution was just so huge. So he would call up about these triples and, he would just knock them out the park. I mean, 400, 700, 800% over the course of 3 or 4 days. Or sometime a week and a half, or a month. And eventually I became a believer because I was typically doing mostly like doubles, like low doubles, 001 to, trying to get it to like 009 or some shit like that. PULM is shitting on itself. Somebody wants to bring up PULM. Man, today was a horrible, horrible day for PULM. Yeah, see, I don't even want to look at the 1 minute chart on this one because I know it probably looked horrible. But here's PULM. But here's the thing, man. This is a low float monster, though, man. This is a low float monster. All right, it's a low float monster. So you had a decent candlestick today overall, even though it did sell off very aggressively from the morning move. It sold off relatively aggressive. You had a lot of range on this one today, as high as 338 before closing at 308. So you got what looks like what is that, like an upside down hammer? That's pretty much a hammer, but I think there's another word for that candlestick. It's not coming to my head right now. I want to say that's the, I know it's not called an upside down hammer. It's called something else. Somebody can give that to me. So let me know where you think it's going. But this was a gain after several days of losses in PULM. So we'll see if we can get some more bullish confirmation in this stock to build off this gain today. Here's the Bollinger Bands. Right now, I still don't really have a really good sense of whether or not to get in on this or not because you're right underneath the 20-day moving average on the daily chart. So it doesn't necessarily say buy here just yet. All right, Shooting Star. There you go. Thank you, Shooting Star. Appreciate it. Yeah, I didn't think it was called because the other way it'd be called a hammer, but Shooting Star. Some people, inverted hammer. Okay, inverted hammer. Okay. Yes, indeed, man. 703, call me back. I don't know why it's only letting you ring one time. STRP. $91? Is that $91 stock? Definitely not one I'd be interested in. 706, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, what's going on? So it's Jay Bino.
Hey, what's up, Jay Bino?
So that International Cannabis Corp that you you just say you didn't know the ticker about?
Yeah.
It's ICCLF. That's one that I have put out with that the marijuana ETF that had came out. I was thinking about getting into that one because I believe it was the cheapest play that they had on that marijuana ETF.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess when you go to trade it on TD Ameritrade, it doesn't have a price to trade it on. I believe what you said that was a great company or something like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Hey, Jay Bino, can I get that ticker one more time?
ICCLF.
Oh, okay. There we go. All right. So, wow, man, this has been a monster. Look at that, dude.
Yeah, it was the cheapest.
Jeez.
It was the cheapest one in the ETF. But like I said, when I went to go buy it, it doesn't give you a price to purchase it at. So I didn't know what price to put in to purchase it at. I had bought one of those before, and I had called you about it, and I believe you told me it was like in the gray market or something like that. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, let me take a look at that. But yeah, this has been a monster, bro. Let me see here. Increasing volume and everything. Okay, yes, it is in the gray market. Okay. Yeah, this one is in the gray market. It looks like it doesn't have a transfer agent, does it? Right now, yeah, it doesn't have any listing in terms of any. Oh yeah, I can't find any contact information, business description. So yeah, that company kind of needs to get with OTC Markets and update that information. So as an investor, if you got some money in it, especially, that's something you might want to reach out to them to get that to do. But yeah, they're listed, but they don't have any contact info, business description information, any financials whatsoever. I mean, do they have a website?
What? I'm not too sure, but I guess my main question is if I was to try to purchase a stock like that, what price would I put it in as my purchase price? Would I just put a random price, or I guess the price that it's going for right now?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it still has tradable shares, and they are trading for the price that it's going for. A dollar, what is it, $1.12? So that is the price that people are trading this company at, and that is what I'm not even the current. Yeah, that's what they're asking for it right now. So that's the going rate for ICCLF shares.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess that's all I had. I just want to see how I'll go about purchasing that, because I was kind of nervous about purchasing one of those, because like I said, I did before, and the price went up. I made some money off of it, but I said when I called you about it, you were like, oh yeah, it's a great stock. You might want to be careful with those. So I didn't get into that one because of that. But with it being on the ETF, I figured it should have some type of credibility to it.
Yeah. So here's the thing, because somebody in the chat room brought up the Canadian version of the stock. I know you want the U.S. shares, but the Canadian, if you go on the Canadian exchange, because that ETF is on the Canadian side. So if you pull up ICC on the Canadian exchange, I don't know if your broker allows you to do that, but it shows you the liquid Canadian version of the stocks, and they're acting the same way. They're acting the same way. So the stock is moving really aggressively, volumes coming in but again, this is the Canadian side. I don't trade Canadian stocks. I don't understand the market, and I don't know how they work. So. But I would get with the company to get them to update, the U.S. side of their shares that trade over the counter. I mean, they really should. There's nothing against that. I mean, it's just an email, see what they say.
Yeah, I appreciate that a lot. And that ACBFF, been running pretty hard, so you might want to take a look at that one.
Yeah, ACBFF.
But that's all I got for you.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you, Jay Bino.
No problem. All right.
All right. So, yeah, ACBFF, by the way, was a play that Treasure Hunter used to talk about in the $1, I think $1.30 range, or $1.50 range that he used to talk about. Now broke up above $2. I mean, these Canadian stocks are just going monster because, Canada is just moving ahead, man. Canada is just moving ahead like so aggressively when it comes to cannabis. Yeah, absolutely. That's why I don't like Canada too much, is because, they halt so much. They halt a lot. They, just the rules in Canada are just ridiculous, man. They don't just let traders trade, because, Canada used to be like a really big place for like penny stock scams and whatever. And ever since then, it's just not fun to trade on that exchange. 703, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, Sal, what's up? How was your weekend?
Doing good. How are you, Master 82?
Good. What do you think about Giggles? Giggles has fucked with me.
Yeah, so here's the thing about GIGL, man. They signed Tamara Mori. That was really the highlight of last week. And, look, you got some people just taking some profits here. But, man, that 15% down day in the stock today, and then coming back below the 20-day moving average. I think you'll have some people snatch those shares up tomorrow, though. So we'll see about that one. Because today was, that almost looks like, that's not the candlestick you want to see, man. That's bullish engulfing, I believe, because it's so much bigger than the last two candlesticks for Giggles and Hugs. So, what are you thinking right now? Are you thinking about getting out here?
No, because someone told me that they're about to open up another store.
Okay.
Or another restaurant.
Where did you hear that from? Like a chat room or something, or?
I know. I think it was on the news, because I think those two girls were going to help them, like if you're a franchise, or help them promote the company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've got a great story. I went to their YouTube page. They're putting out some really great content there and whatever online. But obviously, that and the stock are two different things and whatnot. So I would see what happens tomorrow on this, man. But if you get confirmation of this bullish energy tomorrow, I don't know, man. I think you might want to, get out of here, because the next level of support, especially if it cracks 16, you're looking at maybe, solid, maybe 14 cents on this, man. So we'll see what happens.
Cool. Hey, I think I know what happened to that troll.
Oh, you said you think you know what happened? What happened?
What happened to you and Tim on Twitter?
Oh, no, man. No, that's not even that serious, man. That's not even that serious. It's not even that serious. I'm doing my own thing. He's doing his own thing.
Oh, cool. That'll be some straight BS, like Charmin. He's trying to do his own thing.
Yeah. I appreciate it, though, man.
Okay. Hey, one more thing. What do you think about MMEG?
MMEG. Okay, so Momentous ran several weeks ago. And let me see here. MMEG. Actually, now that you've brought it up on this hourly chart here, which each candlestick's being an hourly, it doesn't look too bad here. If you're looking for a solid entry, actually doesn't look too bad. You're at 0021. I would get with some of these forums, especially like Investors Hangout, and see what people are talking about, because you got to remember, this was an Investors Hangout. I wouldn't say a pump, but the talk for this stock came out of that chat room first, and then everybody kind of jumped on it. So I would see what people are talking about it. But if you're looking for an entry, so far it looks like this might be it, because you got a ton of support here.
Sure. Because right now it's cheap as hell, so maybe I can just buy it and just forget about it. So if it runs, it runs. Okay.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man. Somebody said he sounded like he was sleeping. You're funny. TVIA. All right, TVIA. Looks like you missed your entry there. Look at those RSI lows here. Bottom of the Bollinger Band. This would have been a really nice. Oh, even here, even right there would have been nice. But again, that's on the hourly. So let's see what the daily chart looks like. All right. Sometimes I like the hourly on these, especially if they aren't going through crazy volume. Yeah. So the daily looking really nice on TVIA. Daily chart. Here's the daily chart. So as you can see, what we looked at the hourly is showing, some strength coming back into TVIA. Volume isn't crazy. Decent, almost $1 million in the stock. 49 cents, 4 cents gain in the stock today. You had what looked like a doji yesterday. Nice little candle. Fatter doji today. Spinning top. I'll probably just call it a spinning top. Although you probably want to see a bigger body than that, but it wasn't too bad. All right. Oh, shit. Bad Scientist, call me back, man. I think it was Bad Scientist. Call me right back. Yeah, that's a nice little setup on TVIA. That's a nice little setup right there, man. Raybo, Florida, you said GIGL. You got 2,000 shares. You're leaving it. Okay. You'll see what happens, man. I'm waiting for Bad Scientist to call me back. You said dude sounds like Mace. He sounds like Mace. Hilarious, man. URRE, 8.9% gain today in the stock. 2.9 million volume. Wow, shit. What? Where did that come from, man? 2.9 million shares. And I'm not even seeing news that drove that up. You let me know why the stock did this move today, man. There's no news. And it wasn't like it was dirt low on the RSI or anything. PIP. PIP is not doing anything, Alex. Alex, why you don't want to get up with us in some of these triples, man? Alex, I feel like sometimes you're making it hard for yourself, bro. 919, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, Sal, Bad Scientist. How have you been, sir?
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad. It's just been hectic with traveling and all of that, but always great to be on the show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you just spoke about URRE. I'm loving that chart. I'm actually in that stock. I'm holding on to it. Got in at about $1.90.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm holding that. I was tempted to sell because, as you know, I look for about a 10% gain on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm up, I think, like 8.4%, something ridiculous like that. And I was thinking of selling it today, but it looks like it's got a lot of action still to come, so I'm probably going to hold that one.
Now, here's the thing, Bad Scientist. What were you able to do to be able to find a play like this? Because looking at, subtracting what it did today, how would you have seen that this was interesting? Was it the long, doji, that, long-legged doji? Is that what brought it to your attention there?
Not even. Simple. The link I shared with you guys, FinViz, it was just a screen.
Mm-hmm.
After about 15, 20 minutes after the market opened, I put in my 3-5 screen. So that's stocks that were up at least 5% with 500,000 in current volume.
Mm-hmm.
And less than $5. And URE was up in that list. And when I saw that, having been a former runner, these last few months, I looked at it. I was already in that stock. So that's a good question you asked me. I don't know. Oh, yeah, the last good news when they were reporting about some lithium reserve, they had good news. I think that came out last week or the week before that. That's when I went in. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's when I went in based on that catalyst.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've just been holding on to it. Today, I saw it put in a good day, looks very good, on the daily chart.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm holding that one. And, everything looks good about that chart. Stock God's call on Friday was phenomenal because I'm always looking to learn new things. And when he was talking about his RSI trading strategy, I've been obsessed with that. I did nothing but study that this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I came up with something that works with me. So for me, that was like really, really inspirational.
Yes.
And I actually tried to use that today on CYTX. So what I found with his method, and this is just my opinion and based on what I've, experienced. The 1 minute for me is just too quick. The 1 minute time frame is too quick. It tends to have a lot of false positives, false entry, false exit signals, because you're looking at, a candlestick every single minute. So when he talks about the RSI cooling down and the RSI dipping, I find on the 1 minute, he's obviously an expert in that method because he's perfected it and he's studied it. But what I took from that is I basically took the 5 minutes. It's less choppy. It's at 5 minutes you're more able to digest the chart and marinate, assimilate to where you don't get those false signals, and the chart is a lot cleaner on the 5 minutes. So what I did is I took his strategy on the 5 minutes and I incorporated that with my VWAP trading strategy for intraday trading, along with the 8 EMA. So basically my chart now is simple. It's got the RSI line, it's got the volume bars, and then it's just got the 8 exponential. And Stockgard and I were chatting back and forth on Twitter, and what I said to him is the only thing missing, because he stipulated, and rightfully so, that you have to know how to read charts when you use his methods, identifying support, resistance, those bull flags or bull pennants, those type of breakouts where RSI cools down with volume, then you get a breakout. And so I was asking myself, if you're a beginner and you need to know this strategy, is there a way you can trade this without reading candlesticks? So I basically looked at his method, studied it, and the one thing that's missing from his strategy, once again, in my opinion, is a trend line. RSI doesn't tell you trends, so it doesn't tell you whether you're in an upward trend or downward trend. You could be at an RSI 80, it could drop down to 70, or it could go to 85. It doesn't tell you whether you're in an overall uptrend or downtrend. That's point number one. So once you take his method and you add a trend line, anyone can actually trade without even the ability of knowing how to read candlesticks. Because basically what you do is if for instance, the 8 exponential, that seems to work really well. It's been back tested by a number of traders. If you put your 8 exponential onto that candlestick chart, for any beginner, and I kind of tested this with my wife as well, because I explained the RSI method, I explained the 8 exponential. All you have to know is with the 8 exponential, whether it's a 1 minute or I think it works best on 5 minutes because you get the best of two worlds. Not as fast as 1 minute, but not as far out as a 15 or 30 minute or 1 hour. So it gives you the best of both worlds where you can catch moves. So if you put your 8 exponential on that chart along with RSI, the beginner trader, all they need to know is as long as those candlesticks are above the 8, they're in that trade. So what I did is I went back to some of his examples, some of Stockgard's examples, CLNT, CCCR. I put in the 8 exponential, and based off of that, you would have known when to get in without, the RSI cool down or looking for breakouts, support, resistance, any of that. You would have ridden the chart all the way to the top and sold at the top. So that was the one recommendation that I think, in my opinion, I would make, is because RSI doesn't give you trend, you need a trend to say you're in an uptrend or a downtrend. Now, I think Stockgard may be able to, because he's worked on this for so long, he may be able to get a trend out of RSI. And, all props to him. But I was just thinking from the aspect of the beginner trying to get into this RSI, when the RSI cools down and then when it comes back round, and that's accompanied by volume. If you put a trend line and it doesn't even have to be the 8 exponential, it could be any trend line or, moving average, any technical that has a trend parameter in it, and then combine those two, you have something really, really powerful.
Yeah, I'm looking at.
And I did that.
I'm pulling up some.
I did that
some
today with
random tickers now, and you're absolutely right, man. I mean, so far, again, I'm just kind of going through some tickers that people are putting in the chat room, seeing of it, and you're absolutely right. It would help you on the 5 minute, and I absolutely agree with you with being the 1 minute being the scary. I mean, it's scary as hell on the 1 minute, but I know he's
tends
mastered
to be
it.
choppy. And if you turn to the 5 minute chart on CYTX, sorry, I'm taking up a bit of time.
No, go ahead.
CYTX, the one I traded today, I used StockGod's RSI cool down support resistance breakout method, whatever you want to call it.
Same here.
And I was able to get in pretty much at it went to a support today. It hung around the mid 180s. If you look at the 5 minute, but put the VWAP in there. Do me a favor, put the VWAP in there, because that's going to be a very important technical when it comes to trading these stocks that move. So I combined it with VWAP, and what I found is that pretty much if you look at that chart, it looked like resistance and support was established between VWAP and between the 8 exponential. The 8 exponential was the support and VWAP was the resistance. And I found that very interesting on this chart today. So you look at, for most of the day, the price action traced the 8 exponential moving average, and then a couple of times it broke out through VWAP. It wasn't able to hold that for too long, and then would come back down to the 8 exponential, almost like the 8 exponential was working like a magnet.
Right.
And drawing the price back to it. So look at just how this price just follows the 8 exponential all the way through. And then when it looked like it was breaking out, it would bust through VWAP, hang around there for, a few cycles, and then come all the way down. And then at 325, I believe, that's when it completely broke through both the VWAP. It broke through the 8 exponential. And unfortunately, I was at the dentist, and this is so ridiculous. I get in at 184. It's holding. My entry was almost flawless, maybe give or take 5 cents or something like that, because it did drop to about 180. I go to the dentist, and 10% of 184 was 202. It reached 202 shortly after that, where it was floundering between, the VWAP and the 8 exponential. I can't remember actually when that was, but anyway, it reached my 10% gain at 202, and then it didn't hold 202. It came all the way back down. And I thought, okay, this thing looks good. It looks powerful. The catalyst is good. They were FDA approved for whatever it is they got FDA approved for. And I decided to hold it. And then this is the thing that I'm so pissed about with these penny stocks, because have you noticed always with these $1, $2 stocks, news comes out, it's great news, stock moves, and then shortly after, when the market closed, they talk about a second price offering or offering, and then the stock tumbles.
All right.
And I'm having a very hard time, I'm starting to lose my faith in a way in these penny stocks, because if this was a $5 stock that I traded and made my 10%, there wouldn't be some freaking offering after the end of the day for a $5 or a $10 stock. So I don't know, like it's hard to predict, and that's why I think StockGuard is on the money when he says, you know, the reason why day traders are day traders is they try to expose themselves to the least amount of risk. You get in, you sell your stock, you're out by the end of the day. And then, you know, stuff like this doesn't happen when the market closes and the stock comes tumbling down. So in those last 30 minutes, the stock sold off. It ended up breaking through the low of day, which was 174, closed at 172. After hours, this stock went all the way down to 135. I believe right now it's actually at 133.
Yeah, 133.
And people were trading it, you know, in the mid-30s to the mid-40s. And I'm like, these guys just got FDA approved. Any other stock would have held its gains, which I thought it would do, and then post another, you know, second day of decent gains. And so for me, this is the most frustrating, because any stock that's less than $1 or a couple of dollars, now is it going to be like you get great news and then an offering comes out and the stock, it's happened to me several times actually. And so for me, if I'm looking for my 10% gains, I think I have to start looking at more expensive stocks, or even the OTCs where they don't do second offerings or whatever those things are.
Yeah.
So that's the annoying thing.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely. I mean, this is just, you know, you would think that they would revel in you know, these gains for at least a couple of days, but you know, after the first day, for them to go out there and you know, propose an offering to the public for their shares at a discount, it's just really embarrassing. You know, for people who thought they could hold this overnight. So, yeah, very, very, very sad to hear. Very sad to hear. But you know, so tomorrow the stock will open for a loss. It'll probably go down even lower. You might even see it go down to its you know, pre today's levels. So kind of sad for that.
Yeah, so I mean, I've learned my lesson. If I want to make my 10%, I can do it with a $5 or $10 stock, because believe me, these stocks move. You know, even beyond $5, they move. And then, you know, I'll keep on URRE, looks good. I mean, I'll stay in that one. And that one, even though I traded it based on a catalyst, I think in the past we've seen it run. I don't know what determines whether a second offering comes out on a stock or not. This is something I'll just have to research. But, you know, thanks to StockGuard, I was able to take some of what he's learned, incorporate some of what I've learned, together with his RSI strategy and putting in VWAP with a trend line. Well, technically VWAP, you can call it a trend line, but that's more of a fair price indicator to see whether you can get into a stock or not. And in most cases, if the price is below VWAP, you know you're getting your stock at a good price. And then as it breaks VWAP, you can actually use VWAP as support and a breakout zone for most of your intraday trading. So thanks to StockGuard, and, you know, anyone else who has different ideas, I'd love to hear them, because as traders, I think we all need to evolve. And even though, you know, you need to try your own method and perfect it, there's always these trinkets of gold that you get from people that just turn you back onto maybe indicators that you thought were not important. And actually, I told StockGuard that I actually traded similarly to him, not on the 1 minute, but that's what I do every day. As you know, Sal, on my daily charts, I look for low RSI stocks that are bullishly reversing. So it's pretty much the same style or same strategy done on a daily basis and not on a minute basis. So you can take all of those people who don't have time to be day traders, can take some of what StockGuard has shared with us and turn it to a larger time frame using the same principles. It gives you a longer reaction time. You don't have to react, minute after minute. You can react every hour. You can react by the day, by the week, by the month. So yeah, that I was blown away by Stock God's contribution on Friday, and the more we can hear about stuff like that, the better it is to mold us into better traders at the end of the day. And Sal, keep doing what you're doing. Love what you're doing, and this show has really evolved me. It's changed me, and the day that you quit this show, that's when I'll quit trading.
Appreciate that, Bad Scientist. Thanks for the call, man.
Thanks, Al. Take care.
All right. So shout out to Bad Scientist, man, for the call and adding that insight to Stock God's play. I would have never had thought about using the 8 exponential moving average, but he's absolutely right. When you add the 8 exponential moving average to the chart, it does, help you kind of find a trend. It does show the trend. And the VWAP, he's absolutely right. The VWAP did act like, resistance for the previous stock, the CYTX, but it also helps you find as he just said, a fair value for the stock. So just to show you that, not to chase, right? Not to chase. If you were looking for a fair entry and using VWAP today on URRE, there are multiple times where you could have, got in on this beautiful move here. Let me put my cross on it. On this VWAP move here. I mean, just there it is right there one time, and here's your 2 times right here. I don't like trading too late in the day like that if you're going to do an intraday play. The volume, as you can see here, the volume pretty much dies out after lunchtime in most of these small companies. The volume is predominantly in the morning. I think many of you day traders would agree with that. Hey, Miss Petaway's in the... Hey, what's going on, Miss Petaway? I see you're in the chat room. Yes, indeed. Yeah, awesome strategy. And again, I'll continue to bring, and I'm grateful to anybody who comes up and who's making some money and is willing to come on the show and share their, share their knowledge. I'll continue to bring that, to people who don't know how to trade or looking to trade and all that. Because I know we can't just buy pennies all day for the rest of our lives, all right? So you need to know how to play these companies that trade on these larger exchanges. But continue to play pennies now. Continue to play these OTCs and these promotions, Please don't stop doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I still want y'all to get a bag, a big bag. Yes, indeed. Is it game over for CBIS? Let's take a look at CBIS. I kind of lost my ass in CBIS thinking that this was a long play. I ended up having to sell on, I think I lost like 11% on CBIS. Thinking I thought this was going to pull back here. But CBIS, man, I don't think it's game over. I think it's just selling off, man. Here's CBIS, and yeah, this was back in February when I lost on it, and I just kind of, left it alone. But CBIS, again, just leaving what Bad Scientist just gave us. As you can see, the stock is below the 8 exponential moving average, although that's more of a day trading indicator. It just still shows you that even using the 8 exponential moving average shows you that the stock is very bearish right now and exhibiting a lot of bearish momentum, even here in the short time frame. Using the daily chart as well, you can see the stock is on the Bollinger Band. Excuse me. The stock is hugging the bottom of the band and now going lower. RSI is below 50 and has been now for some time. So yeah, CBIS showing a lot of bearish energy here. Showing a lot of bearish energy here. All right. What happened to Genesis Healthcare? You asked me what I mean. You tell me what happened to Genesis Healthcare, man. The stock just started losing its ass after an incredible Trump run. You guys remember I was a big fan of Genesis Healthcare, but I got out of it after it broke its 20-day moving average here on the daily chart. But Genesis Healthcare was the shit. I mean, that stock was a monster for, for days after Trump's inauguration, or not inauguration, his election victory. I loved it. And then it went bearish on us. And I've completely forgot about the stock since then. All right? All right. So what stocks are we looking at tomorrow? I know obviously it's kind of early for a watch list. It's kind of early, but I'd love to know what you guys are watching for tomorrow. OPMZ is actually on my watch list for tomorrow based on what it did today. Somebody brought up OPMZ, DK Trades. Yeah, I actually have OPMZ based on what that stock did today. OPMZ. Yeah, that was an interesting move. I mean, the stock's been doing really well for the last couple of days. So now we're just above the 20-day moving average. I'm looking to see OPMZ probably build up off that. So we'll see what happens with OPMZ. Yeah, that's one to watch right now. Let me see here. Somebody also I saw somebody brought up RSII earlier in the day. What is RSII doing? Nothing there. SBFM. God damn, SBFM, Sunshine Biopharma. Again, I missed the move there, so there's no way I'm jumping into this now, but nice move there on Sun Biopharma. Shout out to everybody who got in on that one. Beautiful. 112% move today. Here's a stock that, 0025 to 0070. That's a beautiful move. Absolutely beautiful. Over the last 3 days alone in that stock. And it doesn't even put out that much of a news. But again, solid play on that one. POTN. What is POTN doing? I haven't watched POTN in some time. POTN, we kind of talked about that, man. Had an incredible run. It's burnt out. It's pretty much burnt out now. So you got a lot of bag holders in there now. The stock's got to bleed out. POTN, we promoted it here at 1 cent a share. And then, didn't go so well the first couple of days, and it just took off after a while. The news really started catching on with people. And the stock went from a penny to about 6 cents a share. Insane. Absolutely insane. All right. LBIO, Lion Biotechnicals. You let me know what's going on with this. It looks very, very ugly here. I don't know what the float is on here. You might be able to catch do some bottom fishing, but you're going to have to find out what the float is and why it might do that. Also, there might be something fundamentally wrong with the company that came out recently. I don't know. But LBIO is the ticker. All right. That's an ugly looking chart though. RNN is still tearing it up. We had a couple pullbacks in the stock. What was that? Like two or 3 weeks ago. Yeah, but RNN, for those of you guys who have been playing it since 20 cents a share, which I do know, forgot the guy's name he used to call up. We all talked about RNN all the time. I'm not sure if he's still in it or not, but again, every time volume has came back into the stock, the best time to buy the stock, it seems like here, as you see on the daily chart, is when volume kind of starts to dry out a little bit. And again, that RSI starts to, settle down and kind of range itself out. And if you got in, you were rewarded with another run. And RSI is slowly building itself up, man. Slowly building itself up. 67 cents a share. Who knows, man? This might be going to get into $1 here if it continues. And over the course of, 2 months now, you've gone from, 17 cents to 67 cents a share. And if I'm correct or not, you've that's almost 200%. 757, you're on the air. What's up?
What's up, Sal? Peace, man. It's Star Guy, bro.
Hey, what's going on with you, man?
What's good, man? How y'all doing tonight, man?
Doing good. Everybody's excited and loving your strategy, man, and trying to build up on it. What do you think about this right now?
I appreciate it, man. I mean, I don't fucking know, man. I just studied my ass off and trying to put that shit together, and I was like, man, this shit's working. I even told my wife, I'm like, yo, am I the only person seeing this shit? So it's like, I gotta start telling people, man.
Yes, indeed.
So it's all good. It's all love, man. I don't mind sharing the wealth, man, sharing the love. It don't matter to me, man. It's all good. We also be getting money, man, especially, everybody in your chat room, man. Y'all been grinding for a long time. I just came in a few months ago, so, everybody. I'm seeing people in your chat, in your room, man. The 000s, the 00s, that's one thing. I don't know nothing about those. I don't know that game. But for the trip, for the shit I play, the liquid, the penny stocks, man, the small caps, man, like, motherfuckers should not be calling your show, man, with that dumb shit, man. That shit irritates me. I mean, they're like, why am I losing money? You're playing dumbass charts, man. Quit playing the fucking charts. Ain't making you no money, man. Shit is flat. You can't play flat charts and expect to get a bag from that, man. Like, let's be smart about this shit. I mean, you got people calling you, you're a fucking boss, man. Like, you got people calling you, asking Sal about a fucking chart that has 12 volume. Like, ain't nobody in that play, man. Like, cut it out, man. Cut it out, man. Like, it's common sense, man. So I get so passionate about it because I just want to see us all win. Like, I don't have no malice, nothing, no hate towards nobody. I just want to see us all make it, man. And because, I'm a workaholic. I study my ass off, and I just want to see everybody else come in here and kill it, man. Like today wasn't shit, man. For me, like, my setups, I didn't see them. I got burned. I think I lost like 250 on 2 plays, and I was like, you know what, I'm done for the day. I'm not gonna keep fucking around with it. My setups just didn't show up.
Right.
I need. For me, people keep asking me, like, and that's another thing, man. Like, y'all gotta stop asking, what do I think? I'm not a fucking. I don't know. I don't know what the chart is gonna do, man. I don't know what the word is right now, but I'm just not one. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like, I'm not a
guru or anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's gonna happen. I just react to what happens. All I need is movement. I need pre-market movement. I need heavy movement. You know what I'm saying? And when the chart plays, I got setups. I got 6 or 7 go-to setups. That whether they're dip buys or off of a certain pattern or second entry. With my RSI strategy that I've been showing everybody. So once I see my setup, then I watch. And if that, and if everything works out, then I enter. And then, I heard somebody say earlier they predicted it. Like, you didn't predict shit. It just went the way that you thought it was going to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there is no predict. You can't predict anything. So we just got to get out of that false reality about, people that think they know this and like, we don't know anything.
Right.
We don't know what these charts are going to do. We just got to find the best setups and play them, and I think that's just the best way to go, man. But I got my ass kicked today because my setups didn't show up. So I fell back, went to the beach and chilled out. Like, I'm not gonna keep playing the shit.
Right.
If it don't show up, it don't show up. So.
I agree with you, man. I mean, today, I was all up about, your RSI strategy, and the stock I looked at was that CYTX, and the volume just didn't come back in, and it is what it is. I mean, as I said, people,
that's what I'm saying.
It's not going to be 100%. This is not the be all end all. Sometimes it's going to work, sometimes it's not.
But I use it every day. I use this shit every day. Every fucking day. When I look at charts, that's what I go off of, and I look for my setup. If I don't see my setup, I don't get upset, man. Like, that's what I don't get. People get all bent out of shape. Like, yo, you shouldn't be trading 80 times a day, no way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need to do that. If you find the perfect setup for your criteria, for your setup, for your strategy, you should be able to make a killing off of 1 or 2 trades. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have to trade 30,000 times a day just to make a few $100, man. And that's another thing with the I'm a newbie too. I've been trading for a few months. I just use my time wisely. I used to study 15 plus hours a day, looking at charts all day. So I'm a newbie too. You know what I'm saying? So, but for me, man, it helps when you learn. You study, you work hard, you look at shit over and over and over. That's how I kind of came across this. And I think a lot of times, we just get lost in the sauce, man. Like, we just with too much information thrown at us and we start to freak out, man. Like, you know, keep it simple, man. You know, if you got some volume, you got some good movement, you know, don't play midday, you know, where there's no volume at. You know, just keep it, you know, and find the hot plays, man. You know, that's all it is. Like, it ain't fucking hard, man. Like, and shout out to Bats, man. That dude's a genius, man. Like, and I hope that helps other people, man. So I love seeing someone take it and spin it to how it works for them. You know, like I see guys that get all mad and like, man, I don't care, man. Take it, use it, whatever you want to do with it, man. Like, I'm happy for everybody, man. So I think that's great. You know, his calling and what he was talking about, man. You know, as a matter of fact, a guy in my chat room, he did a GALT. He actually made a killing off that. He did his thing. I didn't even pick it up. I didn't even pick it up.
It didn't come on my scanner, so I'm trying to figure out how he picked that up because it must have been a real slow riser because it didn't even pop up for me.
He didn't. Yeah, I didn't see it, and he got in off the flag. The second entry, he used my exact strategy, and it worked for him. And I was like, you know, I was happy. You know, I was happy to see it, man. And I mean, it's, you know, people say that one day is frustrating, like it's moving too fast. If the chart is going to tell, every chart is going to be different, man. You have to find the right chart. Like that's what kills me. Like, you have to find the right chart. And another thing, man, like Bass was saying about newcomers, if you don't know how to read charts, don't play the fucking stock game, man. That's point blank. Like, well, how the fuck are you gonna drive if you ain't got a license? You know, like, you know, if you don't know how to drive, you ain't got a license, don't drive. If you don't know how to read patterns, don't play the stock market. It's that simple, man. You need to fucking study, man. Everyone wants to rush because they see certain people putting out these fancy ass cars and these big ass boats. Man, step back for a minute, man.
They don't realize them guys have been in the game for like 20, 25 years, man. So
exactly,
you know.
man. Take time to fucking learn, man. That's what kills me. Everyone wants to be this person, that person, you know, in 5-6 days. Like, take time to learn. I don't care if it takes you 6-7 months. You know, there's some guys that paper traded for a year before they really got their shit off, man. You know what I'm saying? So be patient, man. Be patient and find a strategy that works for you and find a few of them and then find those setups and only play those setups, man. That's how I got a high accuracy rating because I don't play every fucking thing. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I see a sloppy ass, even if I see a spike, right? With my pattern, with my strategy, everyone knows my strategy now. I like a spike. I like consolidate. I like for it to cool off. I like for it to come right underneath that RSI high level. I like for it to squeeze, and I like for it to break out again. That's what I do. So if the pattern squeezes, and the squeeze looks like shit, like it doesn't hold support well, it gets choppy, I don't play it. Like, that's not a safe. That it might crack, it might pull back, I don't play this shit, man. So you gotta know, you have to be precise, man. You don't have to just play every fucking trade just because something's going on with it, or there's some news here, or it broke out, or I see people going crazy because a stock has a low float and it has all this news, and then it still goes to shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done seen floats with 200-300 million floats on them move like it was a 10 million float. Right. You know, so I don't care. That shit don't mean nothing to me. I'm all about price action. I want to see what the chart is doing. Don't talk to me about shit else but the chart. You know what I'm saying? And I can pick a chart apart, just like when you was showing the charts this earlier today on your show right now. And everyone's like, man, I don't understand it. And I was looking at your chart like, dude, there's like 5 entries right there that I could have used. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard, man. If you can read patterns, you can make money. If you can't read patterns, don't play the stock market. That's just my opinion. Step back, learn patterns, and then try to get out there and paper trade, I guess, you know, or however you want to do it, or play with a small amount of money, and then get your shit off, man. But you know, I had to call in after Bats, man. But you know, I love Bats. I love everybody, man. I love how Bats is a genius, man. So I just want to say salute to him, man. He's awesome, and you know, I just want to throw my 2 cents on that, man. Like, you know, don't. You know, you call my man Sal up about these stupid ass plays, and Sal's, he's such a nice dude, man. Like, and I respect that, man. Like, and like, yo, you killing me. I know you killing my man Sal right now. Like, yo, you're not gonna make no money on no flat ass chart, man. And then you're like, yo, that RSI is gonna work. No, it's probably not gonna work. You need a catalyst. You need a big push. You know, if you're gonna do my second entry pattern, you know, where you play off the cool off, you're going to need a big push. Yeah. That's what's going to help that when it cools off, all that volume is still in there. So that's going to help that second push. You know, it's gonna squeeze, and that momentum's gonna come in. It's gonna take right off again, and that's where I get in at, man. So you need that volume, you need that catalyst behind it. You know, you need it to be a liquid chart. You know, so that's what I look for, man. So, you know, it just don't complicate this shit, man. You know, don't make it hard on yourself. I see guys playing charts that are fucking dead, man. Like, what are you gonna do with that? There's no money in that. You trying to give away? Just give me your money. You might as well give me your money.
Let me ask you something, Stock Guy. What do you think about using your strategy on a 5-minute chart? Well, obviously, it's not what you do, but I mean, what do you think about that?
Yeah. I think it would scare me to death because I'm so used to getting in and getting out.
Okay.
So for that's just me personally. You know, like for Batch, it works perfect. You know, he you know, and he's such a genius. Like when he said he studied all weekend, I believe that he like dissected everything I've ever said.
Absolutely.
So I, you know, but if the 5-minute works for you, you know, that's awesome. Me, I like the 1-minute chart. You know, it's just so much support behind my strong setups. If you find, you know, like I said on GALT, I mean, you look at it. Do you have it on your screen right now?
GALT, yep. That's the one on the screen right now.
All right, so if you look at 11 o'clock, you saw how it kind of like started to run up just a little bit, and then it went to support at 318. It started to squeeze. The RSI cooled off, and then the volume came right back in, and it shot up.
Yeah,
that's it right there. Like
right there.
I don't need. Yeah, that's it. That's what. How much is that? So that would mean like what, $400 or $500?
Yeah, right there. That would have been a beautiful entry. I mean, and just as you said on Friday's show, you know, you're seeing a decline in the RSI and the decline in volume. That's why I love the colored bars here on what I use. But yeah, I mean, and that would have been your entry right there, and you would have just waited it out.
That's it, and you're done, man. You know, I'm done for the day. I'm done by usually before 10 o'clock. I'm usually done. I made anywhere from $300 to $700, somewhere in there. Like I said, today was a shit day. You know, it happens, man. You know, it's a little choppy right now, but you know, it happens. You got to really dig and find them, man. But you know, I'm gonna wait till I don't do my list until the morning because I like the you know, I like the pre-market movement. I want to see what's going on, and those are the ones that I love because all that pre-market movement, you know, out the gate is going to be doing something. So usually it likes to dip off. People like to sell off, and I dip buy the shit out of it, man, and make a killing right there too off the dip buys. But you know, that's all, man. Just find a lot of movement and make it happen. But back to your question, the 5-minute charts, you know, I'm not used to that. I'm not comfortable with that.
Sure.
For me, I would kill myself. Like I hate swings. I hate overnights. I don't play overnight. That shit would drop. I hate the stock market. I don't want to give them shit. I don't want to give them none of my money. So, you know, because I see guys that they play overnight because they feel like they have to, because we're all under a lot of us are under the PDT rule. Then they get fucking burned. They wake up in the morning, they're down, whatever. Like, I ain't got time for that shit. You know, let me get in there for about a minute or two, off my strategy, make me a few $100, and I'll carry my ass, man. You know, so you call it what you want, man. But you know, we get money over here, man. So it works, man. It works.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, man. Thank you so much for the call, Stock Guy, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
man.
you, bro.
Y'all
Every day,
take it
man.
easy, man. All right, y'all take it easy, man. Later.
Yes, indeed. So, shout out to Stock Guy, man. You know, I saw, you know, some guys in the chat room not really used to the way he's, you know, talking right now, but I get it. I mean, you know, again, he's not me. So he wouldn't give some of y'all the time of day. Let me just keep it 100 with y'all, man. He probably wouldn't give some of y'all the time of the day. But that's not anything to you know, deny the ability that he has to call up and explain his strategy, you know, quite simply, and it does work. It does work, you know. And again, this was the first day, man. This was the first day of many of you guys using it. So if it didn't work the first time, that's the first day, man. I can almost guarantee you the first time you went swimming, you didn't go to the you know, 8-foot side of the pool. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going to expect to hit it out the park on the first day you learn a strategy. Okay. So give it some time, man. Give it some time. And I know he's probably been hearing from people, you know, now with his appearance on the show a lot more on Twitter and Discord. And, you know, if you're not used to having a lot of that, you know, beginner conversation, right? A lot of that beginner conversation, it can come off as irritating. All right. 206, you on the air. What's up?
Man, I just had a reminisce moment, man, since you started. Do you know how many times we went from, penny plays to bankruptcy plays, just that transition of all these people that come on the air with all these strategies. I can't tell you how many times I've changed my ways, but it just amazes me how, remember when we were really big on the bankruptcy plays?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we had that guy. You remember I'm not going to say his name because he popped in one time and then disappeared again. But we had that guy come in and he would always give us all these bankruptcy plays and we need to go into this. And it would happen. We lost like $300 and the motherfucker disappeared.
So I mean, I can't wait to see where we're going to go in the future, and I'm glad that everybody brings these ideas up as far as on how to trade. But I can't tell how many different strategies I have in my head. That's probably why I'm so confused now, because I got options. We got Connor that made tens of thousands of dollars playing options and bankruptcy plays, penny plays, and it's like, you have to find a single strategy, but I mean, when you get so much in your head, man, I'm like all confused on what to play really. But it's just watching us transition and the knowledge that we gain. Hell, did we learn too much?
I mean, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think you can look at my show and say you're overwhelmed. Now, if you started from the beginning, you obviously, you can see the growth in terms of, how we've been putting out stuff and the people we bring in and whatnot. But I don't know if you can feel overwhelmed. I think if you don't have any knowledge, it can seem kind of foreign. But I think once you watch a couple episodes, you can kind of figure out what you want to do and then run with what you want to do. I don't ever want to make people feel like they got to stop what they're doing and then come to what I'm doing, or, hey, this guy's got the ultimate plan, nobody else does. No, I've always felt like, hey, here's what this guy is doing. Take a look at it. If you like it, great. If you don't, all right, we're going to have somebody else next week who's going to have something different. And you just kind of take from here or there, or don't take anything at all and continue to do what you're doing. Just enjoy some of the picks in the show we talk about.
Right. And I was the poor brother that was that had he was in a stock that was up, what you said, 1,500%.
Yeah.
He said he's gonna stay in that bitch. The thing is gonna go up. I mean,
K. Harvey.
I'm looking at that guy there. And I said, man, that was me. I think that was INV, when it was up like that. Oh, so I'm just saying that I think that's just going to keep going. And what I do, I lost $2,000 the next day.
Yeah.
So
for those of you guys who don't remember, let me recollect, or who don't remember, or who weren't here, Mr. Lloyd, you've been watching the show for a long period of time. There was a stock ticker INNV. Mr. Lloyd had found it when it was, OTC, bottom of the barrel. Nobody was looking at it. He held it for months. He eventually achieved a $5,000 gain in the stock. And, anxiety and greed got into him, and he let it disappear. But he's credited as his number one learning lesson to make him the trader he is now.
Right, and that's the guy that called in about the same stock right there. I said the same thing about INNV is going to keep going, and I got on the plane to Disney World. When I got off of it, I was already down $2,000, and I said, well, it's going to go back up again. I ultimately took a loss, so I didn't get none of the $5,000, and I actually took a $1,500 loss from my initial investment. So basically, that was $6,500 gone.
God damn.
Anyways, man, I just had to reminisce for a minute and just the transition and just watching people go into the same areas that I went into at first. I mean, you can tell them not to do it, but they're going to do it anyways, and hopefully that they can just keep passing information on. But anyways, guys, just be careful out there. The market has no mercy for you. So as soon as you hit that button, it's game on. So anyways, I'm going to bed, man, but have a good night.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, man.
All right, thanks.
So shout out to Mr. Lloyd, man. Thank you so much for the call. Everybody press like on this video right now. Press like on this video right now. Look, the market, we had some winners today, but for the most part, it was sideways, man. It wasn't really shit out here today. I'm still going to go in and do his strategy tomorrow. As I've mentioned here on the show, I'm still setting up myself in some of these triples, some of these doubles. I'll have for you guys tomorrow because again, I can't ever discount the future. All right, can't ever discount the future. So still setting myself up on some of these OTCs. I'll never stop doing that because we know what those gains can be. But be very careful. Some of these NASDAQ plays, can make you a lot of money. They can lose you a lot of money. Bad Scientist today gave us a nice little trend line, the E8 exponential moving average and the VWAP. Indicators we knew of, but never would have thought to implement them along with what Stock God was doing. So I'm so grateful for Bad Scientists for doing that. A couple more calls and we'll end the show here. 407, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, Sal. This is Brandon again, man.
Hey, what's up, man?
Oh, I'm just getting off work from building airplanes, driving back from damn Melbourne to Orlando.
Okay.
Yeah, man, I played around a little bit with Stock God's RSI rule. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. I'm looking at VII first thing this morning, watched it dip all the way down to 45 cents. By the time I could do the math of what my account was, I was like, all right, I got $130 to drop on it. Okay, divide it up by 45 cents, whatever the fuck. But by the time I got it, it jumped to 49 cents. I was like, son of a bitch. All right. So I'm in it for 49 cents, and I'm watching. It jumps up to 52. I'm like, cool, sell. Fucking PDT rule, man. Got me.
Damn. Yeah,
I gotta learn the hard way.
that's a scary ass chart too, man. I'm looking at it. You played it on the 1 minute. Volume wasn't even that crazy. I mean, I'm surprised you used it on that stock.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, all right, well, we'll check it out, see what happens, and I just wanted to let you know, man. I'm playing around with it. I'm learning. I fucking like it. I appreciate everything y'all are doing, for sure, man. Thank you, 100%.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you for the call, bro.
Yeah, man. Have a good night.
All right, thank you, man. Safe journeys home. Safe journeys home. Yeah, Christian making that long drive every night, man. Shout out to him for watching the show, bro. Yes, indeed. VII. Yeah, that's a dangerous one to play right there, man. That's a dangerous one to play right there. But yeah, if you got it right, the return could be stupid, man. It could be stupid huge. If you get in at 48 and you can sell at like 60 or something like that, or no, it didn't even get to 60. What, 53? All right, the days range from the low of 45 to 53. That would have been nice. That's a dangerous one though. Let me see here. GRNH. Let me see here. Gringo Technologies. Again, when it comes to the OTCs, I like the daily charts because you can kind of tell. I just feel like sometimes OTCs, this one had 1.9 million shares traded, so not bad of a intraday situation for GRNH. But if you look at the daily chart, all right, you kind of got this bullish engulfing situation now going on in GRNH. So, this stock might be going in the wrong direction here if we get more confirmation tomorrow. If I put the Bollinger Bands back on the chart, as you can see here, nice couple weeks, actually nice 2 weeks in the stock. You were at the bottom of the Bollinger Band, which started with that doji there on March 22nd. And you had several good days in the stock. Eventually got back to its 20-day moving average on the daily. Continued to bounce off that, hit the top of the Bollinger Band, and it's doing exactly what individuals who use Bollingers will tell you. It's bouncing off the top and coming right back down. All right, so you got your entry and then you got your exit. I don't know if there's more of a beautiful setup when you're talking about Bollinger Bands than that. Obviously, you kind of have to use that indicator to see it, but it started off with the doji back on the 20th and got to the top of the band, and looks like people are taking profits as it comes back. Yeah, GRNH. Yeah, I'll probably get out of this situation now. GRNH. I'll probably get out of it now if you're in it. LK Ra, you said you will consume stock. LK Ra says I will consume Stock God strategy and incorporate it into my own. That's what's up, man. It's a good, it's a good intraday long strategy. It's a good intraday long strategy. I think a lot of people are hungry for how to go long, and on my Twitter I posted yesterday and I came to the conclusion it's pattern recognition and timing, man. Pattern recognition and timing. And to identify patterns, you've got to also know how to read charts. There's one video that I made, Black Men Don't Have to Be Poor, where I talk about, and this is like, almost 2 years ago now, and I talked about Chart School, going to Chart School, stockcharts.com, one of the best websites out there, stockcharts.com. At the top of stockcharts.com, they'll have something called Chart School, and you can click on Chart School, and from A to Z, everything about charts is in that Chart School, but people just don't want to take the time to spend a couple hours and go over that information, because a lot of people just don't like to read anything, man. A lot of people don't like to read anything. Sometimes YouTube video doesn't cut it. And some of these videos out here are really good. Some of them on YouTube are just garbage, Hey, this is how we do this. Sometimes you just kind of, if you read it and read it over again, it kind of does a little bit better. And risk management, absolutely, Stockefeller, risk management. But again, this is just, don't beat yourself up. This is just one day. This is just one day, all right? This is just one day, guys. This is just one day. And I know not all of you guys are complaining about it. I know it. And most of you guys are all OTC players, and that's great. I'm talking about the people who want to intraday trade, looking to get some quick cash, who are being using it. I don't want that one day to rub you the wrong way. Okay? I don't want that one day to rub you the wrong way. So again, top gainers today, Silo, SLIO, winning brands. Out of all of them, it was really interesting to see MMEX bounce back. MMEX, after several days of red. So MMEX is trying to restart things, man. MMEX, OTC MMEX at 2 cents a share, looking to restart things. So that's a stock I will be watching here, seeing if we get some bullish confirmation tomorrow on MMEX, or was this kind of just a one-day kind of situation. MMEX back above its 8 exponential moving average here, showing maybe it's not over for that stock. We'll see. My last Friday, Terrence Fields, very last Friday episode. All right. I think fast forward like an hour and then we get into it. As we've seen, we got individuals here putting up their plays. Jay Bino, Canadian stocks. All right. We had Bat Scientist put up his plays. What's going on, Javier Rogers? All right. Yes, indeed, man. Stock charts, yeah, it's stockcharts.com. Yeah, then go to Chart School. Stockcharts.com. Go to Chart School. You're going to have to read it, but it's fine, man. It's good information. They put it in common sense English. From A to Z. Jay Bino had put out all his MMJ stocks earlier. And Bat Scientist, if he's still watching, let me see here. He's got his OTC watch list. And let me see if I can let me see if I can copy that real quick. And Bat Scientist puts out a really, really good list. And then his NASDAQ list. I can put out his NASDAQ list right now. Let me put that out there right now. That's his NASDAQ list. And again, Bat Scientist does a really good job of putting out some really good lists for NASDAQ stocks. All right, CPST. Somebody bringing up CPST. All right, go ahead and like this video. Like this video. Again, today, very sideways day. I mean, you didn't really hit any home runs today on the NASDAQ. Or, for the most part on OTCs, you had a couple stocks that kind of came out of nowhere that not many people jumped on because they didn't know what the hell was going on. But NASDAQ really did not lead the pack at all today. It was really nothing out there today. A little bit of anxiety going on. But no real strong news came out. I mean, no real strong news was out here today. All right. Let me see here. You had a couple. Let me see here. Cito Mobile. Cito Mobile, that play here. Let me see if I could pull up the 5-minute. Cito Mobile had the huge move, but the volume just wasn't there, as you can see here on the chart. Volume came very, very late into the stock, you know, and that was the biggest gain of the day, 46%. You know, as you can see how disappointing of a day it was. All the momentum came after 3 o'clock. You know, the quick money isn't looking for anything at that time. So we'll see how that plays out tomorrow. It was really interesting because that's the very same setup that CLNT had last week. If you guys remember, CLNT started off with the previous day, late day run, and then it ran the very next day. So will it happen to this one? I don't know. We'll see. But non-eventful day. Go ahead and press like on this video. I'll be back tomorrow at the appropriate time. I promise you, I'll be back tomorrow at the appropriate time. And I'm praying that tomorrow some of you guys knock it out the park with that strategy, because it works, man. It does work. Was able to scrap out $95 today. Not what I wanted, but I was doing the first thing. It was the first time I was doing it. So for the first time, I'm not complaining. We'll see how the rest of the week goes. Obviously, all of us were looking for that 4-figure day, that $300 day, that $200 day. Hell, you make $200, you're better than a lot of traders out there. I'll tell you that much. You end up with $1, you're better than a lot of traders out there that day. So with that being said, so grateful to Stock God, Mr. Lloyd, J. Bino, Christian, everybody who called up. You guys know who you are. Everybody who calls up the show gives tickers. You'll be surprised how many people buy your tickers, man. You know, I get the emails because people don't have your email, but you'll be surprised the people who call up the show and you're giving away tickers and people buy them. People will buy your tickers. All right? They will buy them. You'll be surprised. You know? You call up with a strategy, you give in strategy, people will use that strategy. Look how many people now following Stock Guide, hitting them up in the Discord room every damn 5 minutes. You know, people want to win. People want to win. People want to make money. And if you have a way of doing it, you know, and it's tested and it's proven, you're good to go, man. You're good to go. People be all over it. Appreciate it, Adam Board. So let me not make this a 4-hour show. Stock God, again, man, appreciate it so much, man. I hope a lot of people, again, didn't get rubbed the wrong way, man. That's not, he wasn't trying to, beat anybody up. You know what I'm saying? He's just trying to let you guys know what his setup looks like. He's not playing trips or doubles or OTCs, period, with this stock. He needs liquidity. He needs liquidity. So these stocks that, have less than 100 trades, it's not going to work. That's why for OTC, I always suggest you look at the daily chart. Intraday is a lot of times just noise, man. It's just noise intraday when we talk about OTC stocks. You got to look at the big picture. See where you are, man, if you want to play those kind of stocks. But when you're talking about Stock God's play, it's all about liquidity, man. Thank you, Ms. Petaway, for joining us. I know it had been a minute. Thank you so much, ma'am. Shout out to all the ladies who are calling and watching. So grateful to you. And, you guys spread the word about my show so aggressively. I'm appreciative. Yeah, the Discord room. I know some guys will probably be in there tonight. I know you guys, again, expected a much more aggressive Monday. You know, it is what it is. Sometimes it just doesn't work that way. And today was a lull. I mean, very much of a lull today on the market. Mike Reynolds. Yes, indeed, man. Miss Petaway, Bat Scientist, Murrock, Gold Mine, Mag 3690. Again, I put that Discord room link in the chat room. If you don't have an account, go there, sign up. Dex Cannon. He said you knew a girl named LaQuindadi. What? Stockafella, appreciate it, man. Need a life soon. Who else is in here? Mr. Maniac, 3 hooks. Yes, indeed, man. Appreciate it, dude. The Headache 24, Michael B. All right, last call, man. Last call. 954. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, what's going on, Sal? This is Anthony Smith.
Hey, what's up, Anthony?
Hey, I'm sorry for calling so late, man. I'm riding here going to South Carolina. I just was able to pick up the damn phone.
Yes, indeed.
I would suggest to people in the chat, because I've been following you since last year, June, and they really need to watch one of these gurus DVDs so they can get the basic of stock trading. And if they put that together with Stock God's RSI, basically what Stock God has on there is he's using Foos 4's patterns, in conjunction with the RSI. So he waits for it to pop, and then when it flags, then he goes ahead and when it flags and it goes back into one of Foos' patterns like that, then it pops up based on what I've seen him been showing in his video. So, in conjunction with Foos' patterns and the RSI, it works. And he needs the volume, the volume also with the RSI. So that's all I wanted to say, man. Don't keep you on. I appreciate everything you do, and you have a good one.
Much respect, man. Thank you so much for the call, and thank you for watching, bro.
All right, sir.
All right, so shout out to 954. Again, let me get out of here. I know some of you guys got to go to work tomorrow. Shout out to the people on the West Coast. Your night's just getting started. Your night's just getting started over there in the West Coast, LA, Denver, Arizona, all you people out there. See you guys back here same time, same place tomorrow. Wrap up the show, and hopefully I want to hear some of you guys call me about some gains tomorrow, or at least some OTCs we can start getting in. We got news on RCHA. I know some of you guys are in RCHA. We got some news today. We'll see how that reacts. But again, that's a long-term play. I'm really loving the way the company's being forward. AMLH. Is that supposed to be a big day tomorrow? Supposedly, I think it was Tuesday, right? We're supposed to have a big day tomorrow in AMLH. They're supposed to present something or something to that extent. So we'll see what that stock does tomorrow, AMLH. Again, watch for MMEX. Is that rebound real or not? GIGL. Is it game over for GIGL, or, we'll see what happens here. USRM. Is USRM topped? Is USRM still alive? That's a question that I think tomorrow that stock has got to answer. All right. See you guys. Take care. Happy trading. See you tomorrow.